Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It is a great day to be alive on this, whatever day it is, Thursday. Woke up, it felt like Monday. I don't know if you felt like that. It felt like that for me.
You know what? I did wake up today, and it did feel a little bit like a Monday, but I knew when I came into work, I only got 2 more days, so I'm thirsty.
You're all smiley right now.
I am smiley. It's 2025.
I thought you loved what you do.
I do love what I do, but what I found out over this last holiday season, I took some days off. Boy, I can't wait to retirement. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't know what Homer doing. I don't know why he bringing his ass in for a show, but I'm telling you this right now. I'm sitting around the house doing what I want to do, moving around. I tuned in to KBN. I liked I liked it. Gave, always like and share. And then I commented and I said, close it up and do what I want to do. Like, this is great. I can't wait to retire.
What are you shooting for?
Oh, I'm retiring about 55.
And do you have a plan?
Oh, yeah. I got a plan. I'm going to hustle.
I'll take the over.
You'll take the,
wow.
I can retire by 55, but if I don't, it's by choice.
800-990-3776. Is retirement boring or fun? Kyle Wallace wants to know. If you were retired, please let us know.
Oh, you guys are lucky. I know you worked your behinds off to get to it, but boy, you're lucky. I have no idea how lucky you are to wake up and do what you want.
You talking to the retired people right now?
Yeah, they earned it, but dang, man, I loved it.
If you're on the verge of retirement, please let us know if you're looking forward to it or if you're going to be like Homer and work forever.
Yeah, I don't know what Homer's doing. I have no idea why Homer's listening to other people.
Well, you did a show with him last week, and he was happy as can be.
He was happy as it could be. He said he was here for a reason because he wanted to entertain the masses.
And that's what we're going to do. With no Brad Nortman, it's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776. That is the carbless talk and text line. Less is more. Oh, yeah. Got to give him a shout-out. The new partner across ESPN Wisconsin for the talk and text line, 800-990-3776. Less is more. You can get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Stro's on the show. No Brad Nortman. And Kyle, I know how you feel about this, but I wonder if others feel the same way. I plan, I don't see the reason to take down lights and the Christmas tree. All of January, I am all in on keeping Christmas stuff up. What is there to do in January? Why would I just take out all of the, it's kind of nice when I'm sitting on my couch watching football that there's an extra light there in the tree that I'm looking at. It just brings more pizzazz to the room. I don't know if people have hard deadlines. What is the deadline? First year as a homeowner in Christmas, because I moved in January, right before the baby. You are a homeowner-ish.
Yeah. Homeowner in April. I became moved in with baby.
So we don't know what the norms of the neighborhoods are. Are you supposed to scrap it, or do you keep it up? I plan on keeping it up.
Yeah, I know where your stomping grounds are, and keeping it up may get you talked about by the Nick and Nancy. So you might have to be prepared for them to talk about that house that decided to go and keep up their lights and have their tree still open at the window in front of the window.
Did you say the Naked Nancy's?
Nick and Nancy's.
Nick and Nancy.
Oh. You never heard of that?
I haven't heard of it, but I kind of went along with it.
Oh, okay.
Context clues.
I thought he said naked.
Those who live in
Chef Ed is retired and he got bored, so he went back to work part-time.
Good for you, Chef Ed, but you had a choice. But overall, I'm telling you this right now, Ben, people are going to judge. And I'm in the same situation. I moved to a little different neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to understand where the norms are. I really don't talk to my neighbors, but I also do care about, being normal, and I also care about not being too judged. And so when I looked at my beautiful lights and my beautiful tree that my beautiful girl put up, I'm like, man, it's New Year's Day, and my lights came on last night. I said, ooh, are people going to be judging me right now? Are people?
Who cares?
I kind of do. I already kind of insecure because I had to use some tape to make my lights stay up because I didn't have a tall enough ladder to be able to get up to really put the lights up high. So I was already insecure about the fact that my lights on one side of my house had a little droop. It drooped down a little bit. It had a droop, went up, then drooped again. And so I was already a little nervous and self-conscious about that. And I just don't want to be the new neighbors that move in and are just lazy.
Okay, Now, this is a good point by John, is all I'm going to read from his name on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Had to take advantage of the last 40-degree day, already in the attic. It's going to be really, really cold coming up, Kyle.
See, I thought about it.
And I don't see your ass out there in the cold taking down lights.
No, I do not plan on taking them down. So that's why I was considering, like, what am I going to do? I don't understand what the norms are. And so I honestly think, and knowing my baby girl, I know she likes to keep the tree up. She used to keep the tree up through the whole month of January. But I'm like, I don't know if we can do this. So I think I'm going to try to commit myself, Ben, is I'm going to see what other people in the neighborhood do. So I'm going to kind of look. See Friday if anybody got their lights up or lights down. See Saturday lights up and lights down. If by Sunday people still have their lights up and they're not down yet, I'm going to rock it out. I'm going to rock it out just like everybody else in the neighborhood because they set the tone and standard for what we're going to do. So I'm basically going to see what everybody else does. And if they say I can keep them up or based off what their actions are, then you know what? Actions speak louder than words.
All right, so we could definitely go down this road, but I am already fascinated by all of the things I'm seeing within the first 5 minutes of the show on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Loving Football chimes in like he always does. Sorry I'm late. I was busy not being happy for Rashawn Gary, who has made the Pro Bowl. Again, Pro Bowl criteria is very interesting in how you make it. He made it. Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney. Shout out to Rashawn Gary and his 6.5 sacks. $250,000 in his pocket. Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, that was the most unearned $250,000.
Banger.
His agents must have.
He's closer to retirement now.
He 100% is closer to retirement. He didn't earn it, but hey, people voted for him.
Mike G chimes in, and I don't know. Maybe it's catching on. I'll keep screaming it to the high heavens. And we obviously on Monday, Kyle, when we were all in together, Matt LaFleur took the brunt of the blame for what had happened in the Packers-Vikings game.
Deservingly so.
Mike G, serious question. When do Packer fans start thinking the head coach is the problem? I love Matt LaFleur, but let's take our fandom glasses off, and I like that he said that because you live with fandom glasses on, and seriously look at it. He's had multiple playoff appearances, etc. And again, I just think it's really interesting to continue to bring up because when I say and ask you guys all these questions about what is his signature win, everyone says last year against the Cowboys as a 7 seed.
Yeah.
And for the guy who's been there as long as he has, I think it's a good thing to continue to really have glasses and do the eye test and continue to look at this team and what they do moving forward in the playoffs this year because, again, I'm questioning it. I am.
But we're
the tantrum man, the challenge man, the timeout man.
I get it.
He's a great head coach. His regular season speaks for itself. But what is that win that puts him over to put him in the good conversations of great coaches?
Unfortunately for him is that he walked into a situation where Aaron Rodgers was his quarterback, and so having that marquee win, having that win that everybody points to and says, yeah, Matt LaFleur can win the big game, he hasn't had the opportunity to do that because expectations for him were already so high when he came in as a first-year head coach. And so unfortunately for him, based off the cards he were dealt, and he was dealt some great cards, and a lot of coaches wish they had Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback for them being their first ever time as a head coach. But based off that, he doesn't have any signature wins because he hasn't had many moments to have signature wins. As a Green Bay Packer fan and as a coach of a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, your signature wins come when you make it to a Super Bowl. He has not made it to the Super Bowl. He hasn't won an NFC Championship game. So unfortunately, he has 0 signature wins. But I don't think that's all on him because some of the bar is lower for other teams.
Yeah, I get it, but the bar is higher at 1265. The bar is higher as I see this comment and say, the fandom glasses. The fandom glasses, the green and gold goggles, exist for a reason. Because in the green and gold world, Kyle, the expectation, fair or unfair, is Super Bowl.
Oh, I know.
You live that.
That's exactly, and that's why he doesn't have that signature victory, and that's why last year when we laugh at the 7 seed beating the 2 seed in the Dallas Cowboys, but that's a big deal being the first ever 7 seed to beat the 2 seed. But that's last year, right? We've moved on because our expectations are we can't live in what happened last year. We have to live in the present on what we're going to be able to do in the future as an organization for the Green Bay Packers, and that's based off winning championships. And he has a chance now in the playoffs because the Packers are going to make the playoffs, and he absolutely has a chance to have his signature moment. This will be a time where if you make it to the NFC Championship game or you go to the Super Bowl, you have a signature victory.
Oh, I mean, there'll be plenty. as a 7 seed against what is a likely Eagles, Vikings, Lions.
Hopefully a 6 seed. Cowboys fans.
Go boys.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush. Let's do it. My point here is the way it is aligning right now is if he were to make it to the NFC Championship game in just with the 2 games that he has to go through, like this conversation's out the window. Like,
nah,
I am. I'm okay.
It's out the window for a moment, Ben, because what's going to happen is they're going to talk about
expectations move up.
The expectations continue to move here in Green Bay. Remember, we fired Mike McCarthy. He had a bad season. We fired Mike McCarthy because the offense got stagnant. It wasn't creative, and we moved on from him. And he was a guy that brought us to a Super Bowl and won us a Super Bowl title, and we fired him. We did not allow him to have times where he can have down years. We said, this isn't good enough, and we moved on from him. When I look at Matt LaFleur, I don't think you move on from Matt LaFleur anytime soon. I understand sometimes you move on and maybe that next coach can come in and pop, boom, you pop. But guess what? I learned from our mistakes and I learned from the past. And as a Wisconsin Badger fan, I know it's 2 different things. I got a bad taste in my mouth because we moved on from our tradition of hiring guys.
No one's saying to move on.
No. But that's where the conversation is leading to. If you don't have signature, listen, Ben, if you don't have signature victories, you're not going to a Super Bowl, you keep falling short, you know what the conversation's going to be? He can't get over the hump, and we got to bring somebody else in. Matt LaFleur is not this season, but next year, if the Packers
you also have to look at yourself and say, all right, if we get rid of this guy, how many other teams will be like thanking the Green Bay Packers for getting rid of this guy? And there's always a replacement, but replacements are always something that, like, there's an uncertainty.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers have done an excellent job hiring coaches my entire life. That's exactly what they've done very well.
Mike chimes in, LaFleur needs to harden up. Then we got Aaron Fredonia. I still believe LaFleur folds under pressure. So what? He beat Dallas. There was zero pressure and expectations for the Packers to win that game.
Told you.
And that is the thing, though, is when the expectations are there, that's when it hasn't happened. Keith in Broadhead. Keith, what's up?
You know, I'm a big fan of Matt LaFleur, okay? I was also a big fan of Mike McCarthy. I can't believe you guys are even having a conversation about whether he should continue if he doesn't win Super Bowl this year. I mean, yeah, he walked into having Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback, but don't forget, in 2017, that was a 7-9 team. 2018, they were 6-9-1. And he comes in and goes 13-3 the first 2 years, and he gets, 4 or 5 votes for Coach of the Year? Was ridiculous. How do you take a 6-9-1 team to 13-3?
Aaron Rodgers expectations. That plays into the argument. Even the whole NFL looks at it the same way.
The thing that Keith is saying, like, I'm not disagreeing with Keith. I'm not saying the answer is to move on from him.
No,
the question that was posed is, when do we have to start looking at the head coach is the reason why they aren't getting further.
When you look at the head coach for the reason why, you're evaluating the head coach and you're evaluating who's the problem, right? And that's when you think about, well, do we need to replace the person in charge? And so that's why that conversation, this is not the year for it. Next year will be a big year because everybody will have the expectation that the Green Bay Packers are going to be a Super Bowl contender, like a bold Super Bowl contender. They're going to bring back Jordan Love for a 3rd season. They're going to have a lot of young guys on the offense still who are coming of age. On the defense, your 2nd year with Jeff Hafley as your defensive coordinator. They're going to bring some people in that's going to boost this roster as well. So this year he's okay. But if the Green Bay Packers find themselves in a similar scenario where they are 0-5 against the teams that are ahead of them and they don't show that they can be a real Super Bowl contender or play up to better competition and beat better competition, the conversation will be whether or not Matt LaFleur will still have a job going into 2026. I'm a Matt LaFleur fan. I'm cheering for Matt LaFleur. I like the consistency that he brings. I think he's going to break through. Him and Jordan Love are going to win a Super Bowl.
This year?
No, not this year. Not this year.
So next year's a huge year for you.
Yeah.
2025 is a big year for Kyle Wallace, and I truly mean that because I feel as if your 2nd year of Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur as a pairing, you've kind of been in like the feel it out phase. Like, how is this going to all work together? And when it's year 3 of head coach and quarterback with the talent that we believe Love has, like, there's no excuses anymore. It's like, hey, go get it. Other teams are ascending right now. The Vikings and the Lions are ahead of you. We need to take this back, and we need to go further and not take a step back because right now, it's not looking like, if we're honest with ourselves, it's not looking like the Packers are even going to win a game in the playoffs. Like that's the honest truth.
No,
can they? Yes, they can. But it's stacked against them right now, and one big reason to that, according to Kyle Wallace, is Jer Alexander, who may not play another snap this season for the Green Bay Packers. So I want to get to Jair next. Congrats to Rashawn Gary on that $250,000 undeserved Pro Bowl.
He should donate that money to a more deserving cause. I'm dead serious. He should say thank y'all so much. Take $50,000 and the rest donate to great organizations or Kyle Wallace Foundation as well.
Or Kyle Wallace Foundation.
I'll create a foundation now. Fight the streets. I don't know. Fight loser somewhere.
800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. We're taking your calls. We're taking your texts. Jair Alexander might be out for the season. He is maybe going to make it back for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, it's a wrap. It's a wrap because of Jair being gone.
Oh, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
According to Kyle Wallace next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Women ask you, do you love me? Why do you love me?
Wait, why am I always the one doing that? Tell me why you love me, baby. I need you to make me feel better.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Tracy Lawrence for the U.S. Air Force.
We all have tough choices we have to make. Life just works that way. I remember when I was getting ready to move to Nashville to pursue my dream, I packed my 10-year-old Toyota Corolla with 250,000 miles on it and hit the road. It was a tough choice, but the right one for me. If I decided to take what seemed like an easier road, I never would have achieved my dream. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sunset helps me realize this is just a journey. Drop your worries. You are gonna turn out fine. Oh, you turn out fine.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman. Alex Stro, front of the show. UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. And I see that the emotions are still high on Matt LaFleur after the loss to the Vikings on Sunday. New Year's Eve did not get rid of that. It's a new year, same problems.
Yeah, unfortunately for Matt LaFleur, my anger for Matt LaFleur has died down. I don't know, 2025, I'll let that all go in 2024. But, he's still on my radar about somebody who could potentially have a finger pointed at him after the season, depending on how the season ends. But at this point, Matt LaFleur, he has enough cachet built up with me where I'm going to let it slide.
As he should. I just think it's an interesting conversation as it was brought up, like, when do we start looking at Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, on Monday you were doing a little mouse voice, and now today you see.
Well, yeah, he coached like he is a mouse.
Yeah, you're not. You're
Referee.
You just love doing it, don't you?
It's kind of fun.
I guess so.
And then people start calling him Matty Mouse and Stuart Little on the text line, the carbless text line.
I wonder if he actually
Bonafide scrub. He can't play.
Oh wow! I wonder if he caught wind of that.
Rashawn Gary.
Banger.
What?
Banger.
That's not.
Rashawn Gary's a banger?
Pro Bowler, bro.
No, that's
How many Pro Bowls you got?
That's true.
I got a Lithuanian 3-point All-Star appearance.
Did you even win?
That was such an absurd poll.
Oh, there was a check. There was a check on the line. I screwed it.
Well, I'm just amazed that you didn't say, yeah, I played in the Final Four, man. He goes, yeah.
I was going professional. Like, I didn't make it to the All-Star game, but I made it to the 3-point contest.
I have an Sistianos.
You didn't even make it to the Lithuanian All-Star game?
No, there's some ballers, G. I was a rookie. I was a rook. Them old gray-haired guys were balling.
Could you have played a second year?
Yeah. I just didn't want to go back there or the other options that I was looking at.
So
now I'm here with you right now, Alex Strofe, and we're not going through Ben Brust's options to weigh out. Becoming relevant with Alex Strofe. There was, like, Germany.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I was like, so why are we doing this? I have a good topic here about Jer Alexander. But real quickly, the way I tried to play this, and I had a good season, but not good enough to do this. My goal was, after my first year professionally in Lithuania, to build enough clout as a player to make it to the Australian League.
Oh.
Because in Australia, when you are playing basketball, it's summer there. So I would have had summers in Australia while I was playing basketball, and when I come home, I'd come home in the summer. Because I had 50-degree, 40-degree days, darkness all the time. The sun went down at 2 p.m. It's all the way up north. Like, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Your boy Cac Penny didn't help you out?
I should have. I ran into him. He's like, should have reached out to me. I could have helped you.
Oh, wow.
Rich Pecker and Spread Eagle chimes in. This loss is not on Love, not LaFleur. This loss is on Love, not LaFleur. Ooh. Matt can only do so much.
Yeah.
It's not Matt's fault that he only had 64 yards in 3 quarters, says Rich.
I mean, we have to look at it. I'm not going to blame Jordan Love. I mean, he has to take some blame. But when you remember in that game, every time he dropped back, he was under duress. He was under pressure. I think me and Brad talked about it like 26 times.
Yes, I understand this. The offensive line didn't do great. But what was the step back for me is, Strofe, I remember you were at Brad Nortman's house last year around this same time. And what did Jordan Love do to Brian Flores' blitzes?
Smoked them.
Cooked them.
He carved it, but
cooked them.
Bo Melton
Receivers
game.
Got separations.
The Bo Melton game.
Agree, sure. Like, we can put all that.
What do you mean agree?
But like,
sure. What do you mean?
He was also throwing absolute dimes.
But guys were.
You're paying him to throw dimes, Kyle.
You're paying him to throw dimes.
And as Jason Wilde joined us on Monday, and I guess I'm fired up still about this Vikings game, because you know what? It's embarrassing that they've lost 5 games to the best teams in the NFC.
I agree.
When all we were looking for is for them to give us some good reason to be confident heading into the new year, and now it's a Bears game that's kind of weird, and then you're going on the road for the rest of your life in the playoffs, no matter how far you make it. So now I'm thinking to myself, like, last year to this year, what's going on? And Jason Wilde was like, there was a little bit of separation. He took Jordan Love took some blame. He called out the wide receiver for separation, but at the same time, you're paying that man a lot of money to put the ball in the right spots on a consistent manner, and I think he was just a little bit off. He needs to be a little bit sharper. Everyone needs to be sharper, and that encapsulates this entire season. Why we're all here pointing the finger at LaFleur, and someone points the finger at Love, and someone wants to point the finger at Goody, and how every one of his first-round draft picks has been boo-boo, I guess outside of the guy we're celebrating in jest of Rashawn Gary.
I cannot believe that's the case. But no, again, Jordan Love, he gets some of the blame, but I think when people go back and watch the film, and based off what Jordan said and Matt said, guys have to be better at getting separation. When I look at the play calling from Matt LaFleur, when I look at the demeanor from Matt LaFleur as well, he just did not seem like somebody that was out there that was not allowing the moment to be bigger than what he could handle.
And right away, I love getting a pulse of what people are feeling right now about these Green Bay Packers. Jeff in the 920. Packers cannot win a championship as long as Matty Mouse is the head coach and Goody sucks in the first-round draft. Pretty tough to win with those two clowns. Now, that's heavy.
Wow.
Now, that's heavy. But I want to know how people are feeling, because we have gone a long season, and it's so frustrating because the last 10 games brought so much hope to this season. And then Jordan Love gets hurt, and then he comes back, and then we all tried to convince ourselves that he was playing to the level or close to the level that he was in the second half of last year, basically after the Bears game, and he was playing better.
He was playing well.
But at no point has he played as well as he did the last 10 games. And I think that's hitting me right now. It's been an underwhelming Jordan Love season. It's been an underwhelming Packers season. The only way they can fix this is to go on a run, and I don't know if anyone could call right now and have a straight face and tell me that they believe they can go on a run. You don't believe they can go on a run? All the Packer backers we know call in say, hey, it's over. And again, that could be reactionary from the game, but when we got Ricardo in Canada, Kyle Wallace's, and Jair's out now, and you think Jair's God's gift to this team, and they need him to do everything.
No, I definitely do believe he's very talented. Really quickly, though, I don't like the guy taking a shot at our coach and our GM, calling him Krusty the Clown and Sideshow Bob. I don't appreciate that, because those dudes have helped build a heck of a roster that right now has 11 victories this year and still has the youngest team in the NFL. But ultimately,
you start comparing my guys to Simpsons characters, that's across the line.
It is crossing the line. They're not clowns. They're not jokesters. But overall,
they're not jokesters.
Overall, looking at this football team, I had confidence. On Monday when we had a show, you had your Super Bowl ticket, right? You put $60 down to win $900 for the Packers to win the Super Bowl, and I bought that ticket from you for $15 because I believe that the Packers were missing a piece. I watched the Vikings game, and I just knew if they had Jer Alexander, there could be a different outcome in that game. So I put this all on the fact that a healthy Jair could help catapult this team into a Super Bowl. With Jer Alexander being out, I'm telling y'all this right now, all the hope that I have for this team to go to a Super Bowl went completely out the window. He is the second most important guy on this roster, because when you look at who they pay rush-ins, they pay corners, and they pay quarterbacks.
I said Russians.
Rush ends, I guess. Yeah.
Defensive ends would have worked, but rush ends, I guess, works.
Yeah.
But you might want to split those words up and announce it a little louder.
But for real though, when I look at this, he is the second most important person on this roster for the Green Bay Packers, because when you look at the route they may have to take, if you're talking about whether or not you have to play the Vikings or the Lions or the Eagles throughout the playoffs, all three of those football teams have stud
bona fide studs, not bona fide scrubs.
And how do you stop a bona fide stud wide receiver? You find a bona fide stud cornerback. And yes, Jair has injury issues, and we're dealing with it right now, but he is a bona fide stud. When it's time to go and it's time to lock somebody up, he usually shines the brightest. And so overall, not having Jer Alexander, that's where I say this Super Bowl chances went completely out the window, because we are not going to be able to make it through that gauntlet of offensive weapons that these teams have without having our number one guy in Jer Alexander. So that is the reason why I don't believe the Packers will win a Super Bowl, because Jair is not healthy.
So I've seen this a little bit. Cody chimes in, 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talk and text line. Lists is more. I just, I've seen it on YouTube. Now I'm seeing it via text, which I love. I like how LaFleur gets called soft by teddy bears. He's referring to the teddy bears as us. Anyone who calls him soft could not handle what he does. At no point have I or Kyle or Brad or anyone say we would do. I saw someone saying, Kyle, you'd make a bad head coach. You can't do what Matt LaFleur does on the. And I bet, you know what? I bet Kyle would admit, yeah, I can't do what he does. But we're not the ones who are being paid and employed by the Green Bay Packers to lead a franchise to a Super Bowl. Our job is to figure out if he is the guy that in big moments will be able to deliver.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the conversation.
And that's what it is. When you choose a profession to go into, I couldn't be an engineer. I couldn't be a doctor, an engineer, structural engineer. The building would collapse. The doctor, your heart would stop messing with me. And as a head football coach, my team's probably going 0-16, 0-17. I understand that. But I didn't sign up for any of that. Matt LaFleur signed up because he's a hell of a football coach, and he has to deal with that pressure. Our expectations in Green Bay, when you have somebody as your head coach, you need to make sure that you're winning football games. Ray Rose didn't do it. He went 8-8. They got rid of him. Mike Sherman, he didn't do it. They got rid of him. Mike McCarthy, he didn't do it. They got rid of him. So at the end of the day, I don't care how much pressure it is. I don't care if I can't handle it. I ain't signed up for that. Matt LaFleur signed up for it, and he needs to be able to handle it a lot better and find a way to get us to the promised land, which is a Super Bowl title here in Green Bay.
Ricardo in Canada, you've had 3 days since we last talked to you when the world was falling. Did anything change in the new year?
Yeah, man, guys, it's a new year. Okay, one thing, but you guys, everyone's just freaking out. Okay, listen, it was one loss. We lost to the Vikings. This team is always going to be offensively driven. Jair's out for the year. He's been out for 6 weeks. Let it go. If Jair played against Minnesota, guess what? We still only scored 25 points. He's not scoring touchdowns. It comes down to Love and Matt LaFleur getting the offense on track. We play ahead. We will win. We get a roll. We'll be fine. Our defense is not the problem. Our problem is our offense stalls in big games. That's the hurdle. The defense will defense. Let them be. We need to get the 3 points, and we'll be fine. Guys, breathe. 2025. Let's do this.
I like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Ricardo. But again, like, this is week 18, and you're like, Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, like, they need to figure. We've seen enough of the season to know what the product has been, and to say that, oh, they're going to get up and be fine. They haven't. No. they haven't done it.
Even somebody like me that is so positive, glass half full, when I think about my Green Bay Packers, I cannot spin it, flip it any way when a team is 0-5 against the top 3 teams in the NFC. And that's why I went from having confidence that this Green Bay Packer team was having momentum, and that they beat the Vikings, and I would feel more confident going into the playoffs because they competed against the Eagles. They competed against the Lions, and they beat the Vikings. But that is not the case. If you cannot beat the best, then I can't sit here and act like when you have to go through the best in the playoffs that you're actually going to have a chance to win that game.
Well, this conversation started by Kyle buying the Potawatomi Sportsbook Super Bowl ticket I had of the Green Bay Packers. And he was like, oh, when Jair comes back, it'll be great. Well, Jair's not coming back, and Kyle doesn't believe, but I bought out of my ticket, so maybe I made some money back on them not winning the Super Bowl, because even Kyle doesn't believe. But if you want to have a good time, enjoy the 2,000 square foot video wall, seating for over 200. The restaurant dubbed The Kitchen, which is awesome. The food is amazing. You have 20 reserved parking spaces. You can use your rewards cards when you place bets. Build those bets at paysbig.com/sportsbook. Bet above the rest, and check out Potawatomi Casino Hotels Sportsbook. A little switcheroo on this Thursday. We're going to go over-under coming up next, so we need caller 15 and caller 18. Caller 15 and 18 to mix it up for Alex Strofe. Caller 15, you get to decide if you want to roll with Kyle and I based off the category and the over-under that Strofe has. Caller 18, you'll be stuck on the other side. The winner will win a $50 gift card. 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776. Hopefully the royal family of Franklin is ready for this 15-minute switch here, Strophy. So get those phone lines going. 800-990-3776. Over under. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Kayla Williams sucks.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Chris Killian. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different?
A very unique factor I think that we have at our group is that every single surgeon here is fellowship trained, meaning everyone has gone through specialty training in their specific area of focus. So if you come to get your knee replaced, or if you come to see me and get your shoulder done, every single person that you come and see has specific advanced training in that field.
You mentioned that your specialty is shoulders. Shoulder issues can be complicated. How do you approach your patients?
Shoulder injuries are incredibly common with either young athletes, or especially as people age, people develop shoulder issues, whether it's rotator cuff issues, arthritis. So we can get a sense of it ahead of time based on what their exam is like, what their MRI is like, what they're doing in therapy. But you're right, there's a wide breadth of surgeries that luckily we have a vast array of treatments for.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Now at Menards, save big money on everything to update your home. Easily create your dream kitchen with Clearview Cabinetry. With so many styles to choose from, you'll be sure to find plenty of options that you will love. Start your project today and save big on Clearview Cabinetry. Plus, the bag sale is back. Get 15% off everything you can fit inside the bag. Good through January 12th. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Just like that, it is January. And if you're looking for the best rates of the year, that's what you can get with the Princeton Club. They want you to be a part of the community at the Princeton Club. With the 8 locations in Madison, the 1 in New Berlin, you can find your passion and find your better tomorrow. Free childcare with the membership. That is huge. Huge. No better time to start investing in your health than now. I've done personal training. They have something for everybody. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. You know what, Stro? Just go right to it, buddy.
I tried to hit the button.
I know.
It
You looked
didn't
like you
work.
tried to,
Yeah,
and it was a
work.
whiff.
Try again.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Over Under is brought to you by the Sleeper app. Download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, that's B-R-A-D, and you'll get $55 in free entries when you play $5. That's code BRAD.
Got that? B-R-A-D on the Sleeper app.
Sleeper app? I gotta look into the Sleeper app. I love it.
There you go. All right, boys, time for over-under, the first of the new year. You excited?
Oh, we love over-under.
I do too, man. I have a good one today. Lower over-under, though. But first, I tell you our contestants. Caller 15 was Justin in Illinois. Justin believes in you guys. He's on the over. Caller 18, Jason in Cottage Grove, assigned to the under. So, a couple of record-breaking things going on in the NFL right now. Can you think of any of them?
The rushing record.
Yeah, good job, Benny. Nice. I'm looking for the top 10 all-time single-season rushing yards leaders in NFL history. The over-under is 6.5. Who's going to be your final answer guy today? Just two of you today.
This is a Kyle thing.
Okay, yeah.
6.5 your over-under. You need
top 10 single-season rushing.
Yeah, so I just need the names of the 10 running backs that have the most yards in a single season in NFL history. Make sense?
Makes sense to me.
All right, away we go in 3, 2, 1.
All right, so remember CJ2K?
We'll start with the top 2.
Okay, top 2 is Eric Dickerson.
Final.
Yeah, he's number 1, 2,105 yards.
And then Saquon Barkley.
That's right, but that's not number 2. That's number 8. He has 2,005 yards as it stands right now. He's 100 on the dot away from the record, but will not play.
He's number 8 on the list?
He's number 8. That's
I believe Larry Johnson did it.
Or you got to say final.
Final answer.
Larry Johnson is not on the list.
How many do we got to get?
You got to get 7.
Oh, okay. Priest Holmes, I believe, is on that list. Well, let me go. CJ Johnson? Yeah. CJ2K from the Tennessee Titans.
I know who you're
Chris
talking about.
Johnson.
Chris Johnson, yes. 2006, he has one more yard than Saquon Barkley in 2009.
I think, I'm shocked Larry Johnson went on that list. I think Priest Holmes. Oh, you know who else is on that list?
LT?
LT's probably on that list.
Jim Brown.
I don't know because it's so many yards. But you know who else is on that list?
2 minutes.
It's a lot of yards.
I'm doing bad with names right now. But he was the running
Spit
back.
it out.
Jamal Lewis from the Baltimore Ravens, I believe, is on that list.
Ben's staring at me looking for a cue.
Do I say final answer? Ben, do you trust me or no?
I mean, you're the final answer guy.
Final answer?
Is that a question or a statement?
Statement.
Yeah, he's number 3. 2,066 yards. 2003.
How many do we have?
You have 4. You have Eric Dickerson, Jamal Lewis, Chris Johnson, and Saquon Barkley.
All right. You said LT.
5 guesses left.
LT, Priest Holmes, Jim Brown.
Let me just take a second.
What about
Barry Sanders?
What about AP?
Oh, yeah, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, Adrian Peterson and Barry Sanders. I think both of those guys are on the list.
Well, you're the final answer.
Barry Sanders' final answer.
Yeah, Barry Sanders is number 4 in 1997. He had 2,053 yards.
And I believe Adrian Peterson's on that list too. Final answer?
Yeah, he's number 2, 2,097 yards. Fell 8 yards short of the record in 2012.
That was Emmett.
So
1
2, 3,
You need
4,
2 more.
5,
One more.
6.
You need 1 more.
Emmett Smith, LT, Priest.
And we have
Holmes.
2 guesses.
You have 3 guesses left.
See, I'm trying to think. Oh,
Didn't we get one wrong?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, we did. I said Larry
Yeah,
Johnson.
you
That's
have
the final
7
answer.
guesses. You have 3 left.
Oh, who's the running back for the Bills? Gorman or some Thomas. We said AP.
We got a couple guesses.
Yeah,
so
you got Dickerson, Peterson, Lewis, Sanders, Johnson,
30
Barkley.
seconds.
I feel like LaDainian Thomas is not going to be on the list, but
I like
guesses.
I like
Get 'em off.
Priest.
Priest. Who was the dude who
Get one guess off of your favorite.
Priest Holmes' final answer.
Nope.
All right. Who was the running back for the Chiefs who couldn't speak very well?
Jamal Charles.
Did Jamal go for it?
Do it.
10,
Do it.
9,
Jamal Charles' final
8,
answer.
7,
One more
Final
guess.
answer.
6, 5, 4,
Emmitt Smith
3.
was on that list. Oh, you know who I probably forgot?
Let's see.
Marcus Allen.
No, Marcus Allen is not on the list.
okay.
I think you're going to kick yourself a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Let's work from 10 up. So number 10 on this list was Earl Campbell back in 1980.
Good old Earl Campbell. His name went to my head, but it's so long ago.
He is the only running back in the top 10 that did not reach the 2,000-yard mark, finished with 1934 back in 1980. Number 9 was back in 1973. You thought of the right team in Buffalo.
The Bills.
Oh, was O.J. Simpson for real on that list?
O.J. Simpson was for
The Oj Mania?
Yeah.
Juice.
Yeah, Juice was loose back in 1973, 2,003 yards.
Yeah, that's
Goodness.
really
And
stupid.
that's like 14
All right,
games.
these next 2, I think, are where you're going to kick yourself.
Okay.
Now, very different times. Number 6 was back in 1998, but you will know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh, it's about Marshall Faulk?
No.
Who?
Packers Super Bowl, played against him.
Oh, Terrell Davis.
I
wouldn't have
TD.
Anything that has to do with him, I block it out of my mind because I hate the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, 2008. The other guy on this list is active. He is still playing. Number 5 back in 2020 at 2,027 yards.
Oh, is that Derrick Henry?
That is Derrick Henry.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, you missed Derrick Henry.
He's on your fantasy team.
Not this one.
Not this year.
Well, there you go, fellas.
How
Under.
many do we fall short?
You fell one short. You got 6 answers right.
Oh, we're only one short.
Congrats to Jason in Cottage Grove.
I was confused when Ben said when you said final answer guy. I'm thinking like I'm just gonna give you the guys to say final answer, and so
we've been doing this game. Oh my god!
So that's why I was saying final answer because I thought you said this is gonna be Kyle's. I thought it was gonna be Kyle's because Kyle's gonna think of them and throw them to you.
Yeah, that's not how that works at all.
That's not typically how it works.
So when I said Larry Johnson final answer, you said final answer. I said final answer.
Larry Johnson.
But he had a lot of yards.
Number 11 on this list, oddly enough. Name was never brought up. Former Green Bay Packer, Amon Green.
Oh,
wow.
1,883 yards, tied with Barry Sanders' second best mark ever.
Ernie with a good point. How did they not get OJ? What a couple of tools.
You guys are tools. Accurate statement.
OJ.
Is Jason Wilde joining us next? What's the scoop?
Yes, Jason Wilde will be joining us next.
All right. Well, real quick, I got to tell you about Palermo's Pizza because it is the best frozen pizza in the world. And I mean that because as I went to a New Year's Eve wedding, we had somebody stay at our house. Guess what I left them behind? Palermo's Pizza, and got a text of the pizza in the oven. I got her husband on the Boss Hog from the Screaming Sicilian. The Urban Pie Pinza is one of my favorite right now. You have the tavern style. I love the tavern style because it like reminds you of going to a bar after games when you're a kid. And you just get that like bar style cracker crust. It's the best. Screaming Sicilian Pizza from Palermo's. Find it in your local grocer's freezer. Jason Wilde joins us next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'm going to quote the great Martin Luther King in this.
Wow.
I'm going to bring up MLK. You know what he said?
Oh, wow.
He said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And you know what matters to me? Booing Craig Council and booing the Chicago Cubs.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. After every single green and gold game,
you can say it doesn't matter, but that's not being fair.
There's only one place to go for instant reaction.
Once, since they won the Super Bowl in 2010, one season, have they done better than 10th in points given up.
And to give yours on the Boda Box Wine Line. Tune into Green Bay Game Night with Homer after every green and gold game. Right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know Love was born November 2nd? Did you know Love was raised in Bakersfield, California? Did you know Love played college football at Utah State? Are you looking for lots of Love touchdowns the rest of this football season? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we love being your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With our selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has all your tailgating needs covered. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
This is Monster Jam. Big air, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam. As big as it gets.
The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum for 3 huge events January 10th through 11th.
Help protect your team with slam dunk coverage. Saganiac Planning can coach you on ways to save money on medical and specialty plans through United Healthcare, one of the largest provider networks in Wisconsin. Call John Saganiac Jr., 262-783-6161, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliates. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or its affiliates. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Wisconsin, Inc. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Records. If not for Marcus Howard, Mark Anglevar would still be the Marquette leader with 9 3-point shots made in a game. He did it nearly 35 years ago, February 1990 against Butler, and would still be the game record if not for Howard. Marcus Howard, by the way, 11 in 2 games, 10 in another game, twice with 9. But don't forget, 3-point shots made in 1 game, Mark Anglevar for 35 years. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Joining us on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with no Nortman, the trophy running the show, is Jason Wilde. Jason, how are you?
Nortman on the Tauscher schedule.
Yeah,
NFL player stuff, man.
Yeah, they're used to just getting what they want, and yes, we have one of our own.
That's all right. I'm sure he's doing the Lord's work because he's such a good person.
Yeah, he typically is. He typically is. Now, Jason, one of the things I want to ask you is I was having a conversation with Alex Stro about some things that were discussed in Weekly Wilde, in which you can view and watch that on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, you've been pretty spot on the success of the Packers thus far, saying that they would win more games than last year, but they may, because we don't know what's going to happen yet, not go as far in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. If they don't go as far in the playoffs, can you still look at this season as a step forward?
Absolutely you can. I mean, the playoffs are a totally different animal, right? I mean, the best team doesn't always win. The best team that day certainly does. Just ask the Oregon Ducks who got run out of the Rose Bowl yesterday. I mean, look, the best team, you could argue, didn't win last year when the Packers beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys were unbeaten at home. They were playing great. They're putting up a ridiculous number of points. But the Packers were definitely better that day. And would last year have been any less of a meaningful step forward had they lost that game in a close finish? I don't think so. Just like this year, they won more games. They're barring a total collapse against one of the worst teams in the league. They're going to finish with 12 wins. That's a 3-win improvement. That's not easy to do. So that would be big. And it's just the playoffs are matchups. The playoffs are seeding. Like, there can't be many times in NFL history where a 12-5 team has been a 6 seed. Obviously, the 7 seed's only been around for a couple of years now. But I think there's no doubt that this will still be a step forward. Will it be a giant leap forward, which they were probably hoping for? Probably not if they lose to Philly, and that's, the likely scenario. So, but I think they should feel like they took another step in their process. And, again, I thought that they were a year away going into the year. That could still be wrong. They could still go on a run. But the bottom line is that there has been progress, and I think they're setting up the table very nicely for next year when I think their window becomes even more open with a bunch of salary cap space and some opportunities with these young guys to add some more pieces.
Well, when you talk about that window, there's something that I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm in the boat of I'm a big.
Are you ever not concerned, Kyle?
When they're winning, yeah, when they're winning. If they didn't go 0-5 against the top teams, I'd be sitting here happy-go-lucky all the time. But instead, we went 0-5 against the top 3 teams, so I'm a little concerned. And then the news about Jair comes out while I'm trying to celebrate the new year. Jason, do you think the Green Bay Packers are going to move on from Jair at the end of this year? Because that's the rumblings that I'm hearing, and I feel like it's foolish to move on from Jair Alexander at this moment because you know your team struggles against teams.
He's on the field as much as Tausch is on the show with Wilde.
But when he's on the field, he's the piece that can help you win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he's missed half the games, Kyle.
How do you replace him, Jason?
You're
have somebody who's on the field.
Okay. Like they have been replacing him for 34 of the last 68 games. I mean, look, let me be very clear on this. I am not looking to run Jair Alexander out of town. I like him. We've got a great working relationship. He inspired one of the quotes that we put on our T-shirts for Sydney's basketball team that we do every year. He wears his T-shirt because he got one because he inspired he was just referencing to me a couple weeks ago that he was folding his laundry and he came across it. I said, well, you got to wear it again. You haven't worn it in a while. So I like him. I think he was definitely unhappy last year playing for Joe Barry, and he obviously had the injury issues last year. But I am not pro. I'm not standing outside 1265 Lombardi Avenue with a picket sign saying, down with Jair, get him out of here, which rhymes. So I'd be a good picket sign maker. But when you miss as much time as he has, one thing we know about Goody is that there are specific types of players that he doesn't want. Old players, one, and injury-prone players, another. And in the last 4 seasons, he missed 13 games with a shoulder injury in 21. He played 16 of the 17 games in 22 and was all-pro again. He missed 10 games last year, 9 with injury, 1 with suspension. And now he's going to miss 10 games again this year, plus whatever playoff games they've got left. Those are not the types of players that Goody wants on the roster, much less to be paying a pretty penny to them. So I'm not in any rush to get him out the door. But I think the reality is that they'll probably draft a corner high, and that's not always that. Sometimes you get that right, sometimes you get that wrong. They got it right with Jair. I would say they got it wrong with Eric Stokes, who's obviously dealt with a bunch of injuries of his own. I think they'll be moving on from him as well. Maybe they sign a free agent who is, one of those guys that was a non-first-round pick, who's elevated his game, who's kind of on the cusp of being a good player, like Xavier McKinney, like Zadarius Smith was years ago, and you get a guy that's on the upswing. You pay him really good money, but not exorbitant money, and then you draft a few guys. I mean, they got a guy in Carrington Valentine who was a 7th-round pick who's a damn good football player.
I agree.
Like, he started 14 games last year. Now that his health is better, he's been really good for them now that he's healthy this year. Like, if he keeps at the rate he's going, he could be one of those guys that joins the Adam Timmerman, Mark Tauscher, Donald Driver pantheon of great 7th-round picks. And don't forget, they drafted Kalen King in the 7th round, and he's basically taken a red shirt this year on the practice squad. But that was a guy that coming out of Penn State, or going into his final year at Penn State, people thought was a 1st-round pick. So if they were to end up starting, Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, and a up-and-coming Kalen King next year, and then they draft a couple of guys, they could be okay.
No, Jason, come on now. You need to have some type of stud lockdown corner in order to win these Super Bowls. And the Packers, for me, they don't have that.
Who's the lockdown corner for the Chiefs this year? Didn't they trade away their?
I know last year. I know last year they had a lockdown
Snead
corner.
was the guy last year.
I know
they traded him.
They had a lot. Well, listen, the Chiefs are a different animal. They won Super Bowls. The Green Bay Packers and what they have to go through to get to a Super Bowl. I saw enough in that Minnesota Vikings game to know that if we had to play the Vikings again in the playoffs without Jer Alexander, I don't believe that we are able to stop their wide receiver threats that they have with Addison and that they have with Jefferson. I just don't believe we can do it without
You can say
them.
Smith and Brown. You can say Jamison Williams and St. Brown.
That's just how I feel.
They say Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. I mean, I don't disagree that right now, today, without Jair, they're not good enough at corner. Like, I think Keyshawn Nixon has had a very good season. He's proven he can play inside and outside. I think Carrington Valentine is starting to look like the player that they believe he can become, but he missed a bunch of time with injuries, and it wasn't too long ago he was splitting time with Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes has not played poorly of late. He's had some pretty good moments, so you feel better about that. But, again, I don't know if you want him playing 70 snaps against top-flight wide receivers. So
I just want to provide some context to you, Jason. What I think is going on in this back and forth that Kyle's having with you is he's written off this year, and he said that. He doesn't think they're going to win a Super Bowl and for whatever reasons. And so he's trying to now say, if Jair is not back, how the hell do we do it next year? Like, he's just like, I think he's in next year mode right now already.
He's protecting his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you guys. I know you guys got to go, but somebody needs to take away his fan card if he's going to be this way, because he sounds more like a reporter than a fan. I've never been more disappointed in him.
Jason, don't you throw that at me. Don't you throw that at me. I'm just being a
He's
real
been on
fan.
Sunday Karma with you, Jason, for those 30 minings for his entire life, and so now he's turning into you.
I'm sorry. There's no one I less want you to turn into than me, except maybe Stro.
Well, Jason, I appreciate that. And if I did turn into you,
We appreciate you making Kyle feel whatever he's feeling right now,
Come on,
Jason.
Kyle, be more like me.
You still. We'll have to talk about that because I don't know how you still feel excited about this football team going into the playoffs now that we lost.
Hey, last time I checked,
Jair.
The pulse is still going. We're not dead yet.
Jason, we appreciate the time.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason on Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations.
Jason did that to me.
Farewell to 100.5 ESPN Madison. We're back with Beaver Dam and Milwaukee. Next, in 2 minutes, don't go anywhere. We have some awards to give away in honor of Rashawn Gary, who got the most deserving Pro Bowl award ever. Don't go anywhere.
It's a new year, and you have the chance to focus on you. Take the opportunity to treat yourself to something amazing and come into Macy's this weekend for great deals on wardrobe superstars like 20 to 30% off Karl Lagerfeld, Levi's, Tommy Hilfiger, and more. While you're at it, get back into a healthy routine with new gear from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And your New Year's resolutions? Oh, you have plenty of time to figure them out. But these deals start tomorrow at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman. Strophy running the show. KBN Nation, as always. At the Carbless Talk and Text line, 800-990-3776. List is more. We're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison. And over to the KBN Sports Desks, Alex Stro.
Guys, I just feel like we haven't given enough credit to the 3 Packers that were selected to the Pro Bowl today. You know, it's a big deal to be selected to the Pro Bowl. And
for Rashawn Gary's pocketbook.
For Goody to strike again like he did, right? Bringing in a free agent like Josh Jacobs, 3rd Pro Bowl. Bringing in a free agent like Xavier McKinney, 1st Pro Bowl. Bringing in a 1st-round draft pick
banger
like Rashawn Gary. It's deserving, or it's deserved to be talked about.
All jokes aside, real quick, I think it is an indictment that the 2 signees are the Pro Bowlers and the 1st-round pick everyone's kind of like upset about.
Correct.
And then all the other 1st-round picks are nowhere near their contract incentives.
Right. Kenny's had a bad year.
Yeah,
Stokes
Jason just said Stokes going to be gone. Like, Darnell Savage is already gone. Like, didn't get a 2nd contract. Like, we can go through this, but we got to be... Woo-hoo!
Yes.
Come on, Kyle. Show some emotion.
I mean, no, I'm excited about the free agent signings. I mean, I think that's great, but I mean, that's half the job. I mean, being able to evaluate talent already in NFL is easy. Being able to evaluate guys who have a future, that's the hard part, and he sucked at it in the 1st round. Good outside the first round.
What do you mean? He drafted a Pro Bowler in 2019. Darnell Savage's cohort as a 1st-round pick in 2019 is in the Pro Bowl.
This is called a popularity contest, and remember, guys and coaches or whoever the hell is voting on this, they clearly aren't watching football. I mean,
I'm glad, Kyle. I'm glad you said popularity contest because it's a new year, right? 2025, first show of the year for us here at Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. I felt as if it was an appropriate way to both celebrate Rashawn Gary's selection to the Pro Bowl and to ring in the new year. I felt it was appropriate to give out some awards of our own. Fellas, it is time for the 1st annual... Can you call it that? 1st annual?
Yeah.
Sure.
We just got to do it next year.
1st annual KBN Pro Bowl Celebration Superlative Awards.
The KBN Pro Bowl Celebration Superlative Awards. Nothing
Catchy,
is
right?
short.
Catchy, right? Came up with that on my own.
No, the Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, not the KBN. I want it to be even longer.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
It's like the Michael Scott run. You know, like you know what I'm talking about.
His awards that he had.
Oh, what's the run for? It's like rabies or something. Yeah, that's what it is.
Rabies. Wow. All right, fellas, lots of awards to give out, so bear with me.
Who's giving out the awards? This might be good, this might be bad. Kyle and I have no idea what's going on.
I'm giving out the awards. I'm both the host of the program, the Kyle, Brust, and Nortman Pro Bowl Celebration
you're like Antonio
Superlative
Brown.
Awards. Yes.
Got it.
Cracker of the year, right?
Oh, wow.
I
can't
don't
say that.
Dumb. And now to the Kyle, Brust, and Nortman Pro Bowl Superlative of the Year. What the hell? Okay, keep going. Come on.
The Avoiding Senioritis Award. Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Congratulations, Aaron.
Yeah.
How about the Laziest Teammate Award?
Ooh.
Here at ESPN Wisconsin.
Did we get a guess?
Yeah, go ahead. Guess. Who's the laziest teammate here at ESPN Wisconsin?
Based off how many times his name was brought up in him and lazy, has to be Jesse Nelson.
Sure. Ben, you agree?
Jesse.
The laziest ESPN Wisconsin Teammate Award goes to Gabe Neitzel.
Well played.
I get it.
He's probably on ESPN radio right now.
Probably.
I never see the guy. I just hear him.
Best magician in town.
I'm done spending an obscene amount.
The most likely to have perfect attendance award. Any guesses here?
Mark Tauscher.
Good guess.
Brad Nortman.
Bitten Brust or Brad Nortman can definitely be in that.
Jen Latta.
Oh. Chewy?
Jer Alexander.
great guesses. Our very own Brad Nortman.
Hey!
The perfect, most likely to
I had some good guesses out there. I think Jair should win that over Brad.
Time now, fellas. This is a big one. Time to give out our Lifetime Achievement Award here at ESPN Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
The Lifetime Achievement Award. Any thoughts?
Alex Stro.
Yeah. Homer.
Yeah, see, that'd be appropriate.
Homer.
Appropriate. Just like Rashawn Gary in the Pro Bowl, our Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Part-Time Will, who just joined us 2 weeks ago.
He's going to win one day.
Good for him. Good for him. How about the most likely to win a national championship award? Any thoughts?
Most likely to win a national championship? Wisconsin Badgers.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah, the Wisconsin Badgers. Has to be the Badgers. Has to be.
Oh, good thought.
I got nothing.
Yeah, it has to be the Badgers.
It's too bad Ben Brust has nothing because the winner of the most likely to win a national championship award has been.
Oh, wow. Wow, this is bogus.
West Regional Champion.
This is like a roast.
All right, ESPN Wisconsin's most likely to be voted president award.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's
Kyle Wallace.
I mean...
He's the biggest politician we have.
Yeah, you never know. Gosh.
Tory Lowe.
Tory Lowe, yeah.
I mean, that's a thought.
Tory Lowe. Mark Tauscher.
Congratulations to Mark Chimura, most likely to be voted president.
He'll be a hell of a president.
Yeah, he would be. I don't believe that. All right, just a couple left, fellas. The most likely to not change his opinion at all award.
Craig Scalzo.
Oh, it's Kyle Wallace.
I was going to say me.
Oh, Mr. Flip Flopper.
Me?
Yeah,
I don't flip flop.
Mr. No Backbone Wallace.
Congratulations on the award.
Thank you. I appreciate that award, and I look forward to winning again next year.
Would you like to give an acceptance speech?
Yeah. For all those that think that I flip-flop, just know I stand 10 toes down on my Green Bay Packers, and my supporter Christian Watson never wavered. I always believed in Christian Watson. And
a barooz?
Hey, I was just saying it was a barooz. I was just letting everybody know he had a barooz. I wasn't being negative about it. And Jordan Love, listen, if he doesn't want to practice, he wants to sit out, that's completely up to him. I still love me some Love.
One more award to give out, fellas. And this one, near and dear to my heart. You guys know I love theatrics. The ESPN Wisconsin show most likely to win American Idol. Any thoughts here?
Well, Brad is tone deaf.
Well, we can cover up for him.
You can. I can hold my own. You can cover up for him. Oh, man. I mean, are we missing something?
Well, Wilde and Tausch, of course, they had the headlines last year.
Did.
Singing a lot. I don't know that Jen, Gabe, and Chewy or Homer sing a whole lot.
Jim, Matt, and Molly?
They sing occasionally, yeah. Matt Hamilton's actually got some great pipes. I've done karaoke with him before.
Most likely to tear an ACL while cleaning his bowling ball. Jesse Nelson. That's a good one from a texter. That's at the Carbless Talking text line. No, but it's definitely something you could believe.
Fellas, the show most likely to win American Idol.
Oh, gosh, I hate this song.
This is our pack. This is our team. We beat you.
This is our pack, whether we leak or love.
We love them. The shoe beat the Colts.
We packed you down with our shoes.
This is our pack.
Go pack, go.
Brad is William Hung.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brad is William Hung.
Yeah.
She bang.
So congratulations on the award, fellows. Show most likely to win American Idol. Those are our awards for the first annual Kyle, Brust, and Nortman Pro Bowl Celebration Superlative Awards.
In honor of Rashawn Gary being a Pro Bowler.
Correct.
So nothing makes sense.
I'll give it a gracious 7.
I'm going to say 6, 6.5. I mean, the way you started it off, it was great. Too bad nobody heard it. Unless they're on YouTube.
Kyle, you don't bring that. Go to break.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Pull my baby out the goal. Y'all, get him out. Ain't no way in the world my baby going to get hit that many times with a puck.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So far, things are moving along pretty well. We do have a few broken down vehicles out there, but they're all out of traffic, so shouldn't be causing much of an issue. Other than that, I'm not seeing really any slowdowns anywhere. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, clearing skies, a low of 17. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, a high of 24. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join their two-man scramble tournament and play Pebble Beach for a chance to win through the 31st. Sign up at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm here with Dr. Sam Steiner. How much do you enjoy being able to help someone through really the entire process of coming back from an injury?
I mean, I think it's something very special. It's something I look forward to every day, being able to wake up, see people from the time they're injured, and then take them all the way through the process of explaining what they've had done, taking care of them, in some cases operating on them, and then afterwards being able to see the recovery and see them get back to where they want to be.
It seems to me that there is a strong connection between patient and doctor here. Why is that?
Many of us grew up in the area. We went to high schools that we now take care of. I think it's really unique and special that we can take care of people we went to school with, their families, friends of our parents at our facility. It holds you accountable. They can literally say, hey, if you don't do a good job, I'm going to tell your mom. We really have something very special and unique here at OAW.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Some callers. I also want to know if people are feeling the same way as me. I don't feel like the Packers took a step forward this year. I think they're probably just like flat. I think that's fair to say. You may disagree. 800-990-3776. Hit us on the Carbless Talk and text line. List is more.
Jason disagrees.
That's Jason's feeling. I want to know from everyone else.
I'm confused how he I mean, there's no, if the Packers don't win a playoff game, there's no real progress.
Well, and that's the thing, is he made the logical argument, which I get. It is a one-and-done playoff system. But it's the same way we look at NCAA basketball teams. No one gives a crap, even for Greg Gard, if he wins a Big Ten championship. Your success is judged on the highest moment of the season, which is the NCAA tournament. And you could say the same about the NFL. It's about Super Bowl and playoff wins.
Yeah, the gap, though. That's the thing. Is I don't think the gap is very large between the Packers and those other teams.
But the gap for the Packers from last year to this year, I mean, the defense is better. The offense has been good with Josh Jacobs, but they have not been as good.
There's positives, and I think the issue is we don't know what's coming in order to make us be closer to the Vikings, closer to the Lions, and closer to the Eagles because they have studs that will still be on the roster for the foreseeable future.
Well, let's go to RJ. RJ, 800-990-3776. Do you feel like this took a step forward this year, or is it too late, or is it too early to say?
Well, it's slightly too early, but then again, not really, because we've been watching this team. You know, we're at the last game of the season, and what it comes down to is we all know we haven't been able to beat the good teams. We seem to, if we can't front load and put up 14 in the first quarter and play with the lead, we have this pattern of, you know, going into half at a deficit, sometimes a very big deficit in those big games, and then LaFleur kind of lets Love, you know, chuck the ball around, and the dude makes some magical plays, and our receivers make some magical plays, and we end up bringing it close. But ultimately, the way I see it, if we don't go into this wild card game, and, you know, we got to go into the game and put up on the first two possession points, but like touchdowns, we got to score touchdowns. I think if we want to win that game, but if we don't win that game, it's a failure of a season. I think it's as simple as that.
My man, I like that. Straight to it.
I can't argue, and that's what I'm saying. Are you going to judge this team based off the regular season or the playoffs? Because if it's off the regular season, I can't say that this was a success. You can look at the record and say they won this many games, but ultimately you're judged based off the teams that you play that are better than you. And if you're not beating those teams, you've really got to do something in the playoffs to show that the regular season wasn't just the same. It would just be the same thing all over again in one game.
And what the Packers have done so far this year, there is one game left with the Chicago Bears. We think they'll take care of business. They'll get to 12 wins. But you know how hard it is to beat 12 average or below average football teams and only lose to 3 teams that are really good? That just shows you that there is clearly the Packers are better than the rest of the bottom of the boo-boo of the league, but not there with the elite.
See how you did the bottom and the boo-boo. I like that. I guess it ties together nicely. Beads in Milwaukee. I don't know how we got on American Idol, our bad singing for superlative awards, but Beads, you're up.
I'm going to be all over the place, but I'm the reigning expert. I'll claim in that since I tried out. You can only have one guest with you, so I had to try out because we went in a carpool of 4 people. Shout out to my friend that made it years later, Reed Grimm, who made it on the show. But literally you have to make it like 8 rounds to see those actual judges. Just so you know. You have to make it 8 rounds to actually see the judges.
Wait,
they like
do you actually have a good voice, Beads, or did you try out as a joke?
Oh, it was a joke. I was in the same group as him, just pretending we didn't know each other. I did Ice Ice Baby and got actually stopped about 15 seconds in.
So wait, you spent you got too much time. Wait a minute, Bees. You mean to tell me you stood in that long line just to go in there and say Ice Ice Baby? You want to be on TV? Is that what that is? You had too much time on your hands.
I was hoping to be on TV, Kyle, because I knew I'm horrible. But I mean, to get to the point, it was thrown in my lap of, "Do you want to go on a road trip to Boston a week before you go back to college?" And so we road tripped out there. He was seriously trying out, and I had to be somebody to do it with him.
Well, Beads, you've lived some life. I can tell you that much. 800-990-3776. Back to the Green Bay Packers on the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. John, you're up.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
And as I was saying on the phone, I always respect and admire Kyle's boundless optimism and his love for the Green Bay Packers. But to me, this entire season, unless they go on some sort of playoff run, is going to be they were pretty good, but you guys already said they haven't beaten any teams that are better than they are. And that, to me, like, you got to be able to figure out a way to win those games, or you can't really call yourself a legitimate contender.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think what we've boiled this down to right now is ultimately if the Packers don't win one game, it's very easy to rule this season a failure.
Yeah, you can. I told y'all what my expectation was. My expectation was for this team to go to at least an NFC championship game. And did they take steps in the right direction during the season? Yes. This is a better football team this year as we look at January 1st than when we looked at January 1st last year. So we all can agree on that. But based off what the expectations are, you have to have success in the postseason. If this Packers team does not have success in the postseason, we cannot say they took a step forward. They still have a lot of hills to climb over and barriers to go over. And if they don't win the playoffs, they're going to be trying to climb over those next year.
800-990-3776. Ryan from McGuanago. Ben, I'm with you. The Packers defense took some baby steps forward, and the offense is not better than last year. The special teams are a little bit better. That might make the whole team better then. But, again, we're splitting hairs here. This was supposed to be, you were talking about the gap from the Packers to other teams. Mm-hmm. You could talk about the gap from last year to this year's Packer team. I don't think anyone's calling in confidently right now and saying the Packers are better this year than last year.
I mean, they're basically the same football team.
Because you've been saying this, and I love that you bring it up because it's so true. Even as the young, maybe this is part of being the hunted more than the hunting, but they did in 2 weeks in a row take down the Super Bowl champion Chiefs and the Lions on Thanksgiving when they were turning it around right at that point.
And so we can make an argument that this football team has not progressed from the end of last season to this season because it seems like some of the issues that we see are new issues, whether or not it's guys not being happy like a Romeo Doubs not showing up, or whether it's a Jaden Reed all of a sudden literally going absent, us not seeing him not getting a lot of touches. It just seems that this offense seems a little bit more disjointed, and they're still, we talked about it on Monday, they haven't figured out exactly what their identity is, and that's why a lot of us blame Matt LaFleur for the state of this football team right now.
Did the Packers take a step forward this year? 800-990-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. You can get your thoughts there. Dave from Aaron, from my fan perspective, if they lose in the playoffs, it's a failure. From an analytics perspective, it was a good season.
Analytics don't mean everything. Analytics is just math. I always say, I'm telling you this right now, before they had analytics, people still knew how to play baseball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they knew what to do to win baseball games.
You're telling me that analytics hasn't helped sports?
I'm sure. No, analytics helps sports, but at the end of the day, it's
just math.
Test. No,
it doesn't help anything.
The eye test is still the final thing. Can he ball or can he not ball? Analytics helps people improve, like in baseball. It can help you improve in football, exercise science. But at the end of the day,
I want your reaction to this one, Kyle.
Uh-huh.
Mike in the 920. The Packers equals Penn State.
That's a little disrespectful.
Can't win the big one.
The Penn State ain't won the big one since Joe Paterno was in his 50s.
They beat the teams they're supposed to, but can't beat anyone good.
And this isn't just a recent issue. This has been a consistent issue amongst the Green Bay Packers basically since they went to the Super Bowl in 1998. After they lost to the Broncos, they haven't, other than the Super Bowl year, we have consistently found ourselves not being able to win the big game.
Stro, I'd love to hear from you because we've done a lot of getting our feelings out there. Would you like to get your feelings out there?
Yeah, I can get my feelings out there. Right. So I hear where you're coming from for obvious reasons. Sunday was disappointing. If they would have won that game, I think the tune we are singing today, very different.
I hear you, but they didn't win it, and it was an accumulation of what they've done all season.
I'm getting there. I definitely have less faith today than I did a week ago about the Packers going on the road in the playoffs and winning, especially 3 games in a row. Especially with the path they'll now have to take, right? Philly, Detroit or Minnesota, and then Detroit or Minnesota.
The likely path.
Right.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. I like I said before, there's still a pulse. Season's not over. We're not dead yet. But yeah, I mean, I don't view this season as a failure if they don't win a playoff game. Obviously,
Stro.
It'd be a total success if they win at least 2 playoff games.
Strove, come on.
Well,
because they have 11 wins next to the record, is that what you're holding on to? I'm trying to.
It'll be 12, yeah. They'll win on Sunday. It'll be 12, which is a 3-game improvement from a year ago.
Before expansion, they wouldn't have made the playoffs the last 2 years.
Okay, we got to stop with all that. Y'all got to leave that alone.
I'm just providing more context as to why this feels as weird as it does this year.
No, Strofe, you literally are basing this off total wins. And yes, this team.
I think it's important though because expectations, at least at a national Avenue, right? Not us, because I think we always expected them to go over. What was it, 9.5?
Yeah, I said it was easy money.
And you were right, it was easy money. But what hasn't been easy money is playing good teams. And that's the part where obviously you're concerned. And I think your point on Jair is completely fair. I feel the same way. If they have a lockdown corner, I have a little bit more confidence going to a Philly or a Minnesota or Detroit.
No, probably just better, not good.
If one of the receivers consistently takes a step up, you feel good. But that hasn't happened this
We're
season.
having the same conversation about these receivers, and it seems like Jaden Reed has not taken a step forward, right?
He did early on, but he hasn't since.
And so that is the biggest issues when I look at this football team and I think about the progress that this team has made. When I look at too many guys not taking that next step, whether it's a Romeo Doubs, who I think we know who he is, right? A Christian Watson, who he was healthy most of this year, but he wasn't like, oh, he's a number one. He's a solidified number one wide receiver. So overall, I think when we look at this football team, not enough guys on the offense have taken that next step. Outside of Tucker Kraft, can you say who has for sure taken that next step on this offense?
No, you can't. You can talk about him in flashes. You really can't.
That's it. And
I know Christian Watson got hurt, but like even when Christian Watson was playing well, he didn't play well enough to be like, oh, got to sign his ass.
No,
you know what I mean?
He didn't look like nobody. So nobody came out this season. The one thing we wanted to know this year before the season, what are we saying? Who's the number one? Who's going to be the number one this year?
Or who's the go-to target?
We didn't get
any of those answers.
We didn't figure that out. So when we talk about progress, yes, it's nice to beat bad teams. It's nice to beat average teams. That just shows you that this is a good Green Bay Packer football team. But if you can't leave the season knowing, okay, our offense, we have this guy as our go-to number one wide receiver. And then on top of that, they also upset these teams or beat these teams. So we know next year, hey, we beat the Vikings and they went to the Super Bowl. We beat the Lions, they went to the Super Bowl. Overall, we may not have those answers. But there's still, what did you say? There's still grass on the field? What'd you say?
A pulse. I said they still have a pulse? We're not dead yet.
Grass on the field? I
don't know.
There is still grass on the field.
He
is right when he says that.
Yeah. They're going to be playing on that grass on Sunday.
They will be playing on some grass on Sunday.
The person who probably was right all along and we didn't want to believe him, I'd probably say 8 weeks ago, we started having Greg Scalzo, our big boss, on bi-weekly on Thursdays. He broke it to Kyle very early and was like, this team's not good enough to win the Super Bowl. Kyle's like, oh, Greg, don't say that.
Okay, here you go.
I guarantee he's going to do a victory lap. It's victory lap time for Greg Scalzo. Joining us next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
800-990-3776. Say that again. What a radio pro.
He's so...
Say that again. Nobody said a word. Ben Brust, say that. Can we make a rule for Kyle, Brust, and Nortman?
You're a good producer.
No Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and no Greg Scalzo, my former co-host.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We are looking at a little bit of a backup along southbound 41 right past Capitol Drive. Nothing major, though. No other major incidents. I think everybody's kind of taken off the rest of the week because everything is rolling along just fine. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Clearing skies, a low of 17. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy with a high of 24. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Bulaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucs fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucs.com/tickets. That's Bucs.com/tickets.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit.
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit. Sit.
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza, the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gift giving is easy with an Island Resort and Casino gift card. Every person on your list can spend their time just the way they like it. Dining, going to a concert, relaxing at the Drift Spa, playing golf. No matter the reason, gift cards to the Midwest's premier resort destination are a sure bet. To order gift cards, stop by the Island Club today or call 877-ISL-SHOW. Then spread some joy because everyone knows your total experience is at the Island.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. ESPN Milwaukee's Big Boss.
I'm not going to be able to help you.
The only one who holds Ben accountable.
We each do our own research, Ben.
Welcome to Thursdays with Greg Scalzo.
Happy Thursday!
On Kyle, Brust, and Norton.
Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman. Strophy running the show. KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. The Carbless talking text line. Liz is more. Happy to be joined by Gregory Scalzo, VP of Good Karma Brands, and the guy who's in charge of giving Alex Stro a raise.
This is Grateful Dead, huh?
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, it's got
you should come to a concert with us.
Yeah, I heard a Grateful Company. Now,
Dead and Company.
Dead and Company. They're part of Grateful Dead?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I might need to come.
You know
with
John
y'all.
Mayer, Kyle?
He was part of...
He's the front man.
He was part of Grateful Dead.
Not the Grateful Dead.
He's the front man for Dead and Company?
Correct.
When did this happen?
A couple of years ago.
Oh, I like John Mayer.
He can play the
Body's
guitar.
a wonderful, Wonderland.
Your body is a wonderfall.
It's one of the two.
You must have been a big John Mayer fan back in the day.
Yeah, probably.
You and James Lafferty hanging out, listening to some John Mayer.
Yeah.
Back in the early 2010s.
I had no music taste back in the early days.
Now you have
Which would add up.
Yeah, it would totally add up.
That's where John Mayer comes in.
I have a big announcement because I know there's two people in this studio right now that are very observant to workplace attire. This is breaking news, actually, Strofe. It's not even a KBN Sports Desk update. Let's hit it.
Oh, baby. Now, do you know where this is going breaking news?
Maybe.
I bought 4 new pairs of pants.
Oh, wow.
I got some clothes for Christmas. I'm going to have a new wardrobe in 2025, even though today I'm still wearing the same quarter zip and pants and shoes that I normally wear. I got 6 new pairs of shoes that I got from Nordstrom Rack on sale.
6 pairs of shoes?
Yeah, like a gray, a black, a brown, a boot. Like I can mix and match. I got.
But are you going to make those decisions yourself?
Every day I leave the office, I will for the office, I will ask my fiance, does this go?
Congratulations! You now have 4 pair of pants that you don't have to recycle one of them another day during the week.
Well, I'll still keep the normal like Target $30 pants and branded quarter zip in the rotation.
And maybe I've asked this before, but with the fact that you don't wear undergarments,
correct?
Do you have to wash your pants after one use?
I should. Likely 2 uses would I go for.
Oh, Ben, I would guess under 2 weeks for a wash.
Yeah,
I would take the over
100%. Can we just address
Look at him
something?
smiling. He's agreeing with us without doing it verbally.
I'm
Can
just
we talk
smiling.
about that?
I like being around you guys.
Can we put in some handbook that You have to wear drawers to work. I feel very uncomfortable with this man telling me he ain't got no drawers on. Every day when he stands up next to me and gets too close, I know he too dang close.
Only one degree of separation.
Yeah.
There's a very, very small barrier between little Benny and everybody else.
I don't like it.
But it's a barrier, and it's closed.
I just don't like it. And then you tell everybody. I
don't tell everyone. It's on my Wikipedia. Ben Brust does not wear underwear. It was on there at one point. I don't know if they took it off.
You told me. I didn't ask.
Well, I figured when we were doing the show together, you should, know things about me. I got to figure out your comfortability, and I know not to get too close to you.
Yeah, we're talking about pants, but shout out to you for actually stepping up your wardrobe. This is something that I'm glad 2025
Shout out to all the people around you, Ben, who bought you clothes to help you step up.
Yes, I basically, on December 26th, went to Nordstrom Rack and just was like, all right, this is my time. And I just went all in.
Really?
I do it once a year. I get like 6 pairs of shoes on cheap.
That's a lot of pairs of shoes.
But I burn through shoes. I have gross feet.
You do.
So I have a great story for you.
Is that a gift card?
You know where socks?
Yeah, a gift card thing.
Okay.
I got brand
new.
Who
got you the gift card?
I accumulated over birthdays and stuff like that. Now, Strofe, this is important for Greg. Greg Scalzo joining us here, big boss of Good Karma Brands, working on the HR code here of what I can wear and not wear underneath my pants.
Put drawers on.
I got new socks for Christmas, right? Everyone gets socks. Haha.
Yeah, I got a lot of those.
I wore a fresh pair of socks to my future in-laws' place, and my toenail is so long that it ripped through the sock.
The brand new sock.
The brand new sock.
Come on.
And it's like purple, and it was sticking out.
What's wrong? You don't clip them?
So that's the thing. I asked my fiance for the nail clipper. She gave me the nail clipper, and it was too small of a nail clipper that I couldn't clip through my thick toenail.
Wow. What's wrong with you? That's different.
Well, a lot of things is the
That
answer.
is different.
That's disgusting.
Yep. That's
like, you have to address that. You got to go to a podiatrist.
That was the follow-up from her family. They said, have you seen a podiatrist? I said,
your feet
no, but the
shouldn't
best
be
man
like
in the
that.
wedding says I should go to a podiatrist.
Like, your feet shouldn't be like that. Have you ever seen his feet? They're the most. I'm not a feet. I don't like feet in general.
He sent us a photo because he had COVID toe a couple weeks ago.
What?
Or something like that.
No, something else.
Yeah. It didn't have COVID toe.
It would look like it.
What does COVID toe even look like?
That's what it looked like to me. And so I saw it. I said, ugh. It was disgusting.
So basically, you're just getting a whole lot of clothes to try to cover up all the disgusting parts of yourself.
The blemishes, yes, the blemishes.
Well, congratulations. We have to congratulate you like you're a 6-year-old. You got new clothes. And you need mom's help.
Greg owes the congratulations.
Can we just acknowledge what just happened here? As you pointed out, Greg, he wants praise
for buying clothes,
for getting gift cards at Christmas and utilizing gift cards at a clothing store to buy clothes.
To buy clothes, which he's then going to depend on his wife to pick out and dress him every day.
Correct.
I mean, I'd rather have him do that than do what he has been doing for the last 2 years.
And as I have his Wikipedia page open, I just want to acknowledge he's 33 years old.
Thank you, Alex Stro. At least I don't buy my clothes off TikTok like you.
At least he buys his clothes. You get them for free.
That's it.
Every
Nothing wrong with that.
Day is a branded free piece of gear. You and Brad Nortman haven't paid for a shirt in 20 years.
You need to apologize, Kyle, to Greg Scalzo.
I need to apologize. You need to be thanking me for allowing you to get
This
new
has
clothes.
nothing to do about the clothes anymore. Greg Scalzo came on like 8-10 weeks ago and was like, Kyle, they're not winning the Super Bowl. And you lived your entire season believing they were going to win the Super Bowl, and now you've come to the realization they're not going to win the Super Bowl. He tried warning you.
He doesn't have to apologize. But yeah, and it's okay. Like, let me just put it out there. If the Packers last year hadn't beaten the Cowboys the way they beat them in Dallas, the expectation this year would have been like, can they just be better? And they're better this year, but they're still on that climb to get to a place where they're a Super Bowl team. They're just not there yet.
So you don't think Jer Alexander's now being out? Like, he was injured. Jason said he'd missed 9 or 10 games this year. Now he's out for the season unless they make it to the Super Bowl by some immaculate conception type thing.
Well, it's always possible. That's the crazy thing in the NFL is it's always possible, right? To win a Super Bowl, like to get to the Super Bowl.
Not without Jer Alexander.
Totally,
and I feel like based off what has this team shown you that they can potentially win a Super Bowl without having a lockdown corner?
I'm saying that you've seen it happen in football playoffs where it's a 1-game playoff game. Jalen Hurts gets nicked up in his first quarter, right? He's all of a sudden, now you're going up against Kenny Pickett. You win that game. Then you go into Detroit and you get a couple of turnovers. Maybe you win that game. And then maybe, the other side of the bracket somehow, like, you can luck your way into it, is my point. This team is not a Super Bowl contending team yet. They're just not that good. They're the youngest team in the NFL. To their credit, they're trying to build for longevity. And Jair Alexander, he's done. His career is done with the Packers. It's an unfortunate way to end.
I don't like that either.
I don't either. I think he's a very good player, but he can't stay on the field.
See, the reason why
and if you listen to Mr. Irrelevant, you would have heard Jason Wilde talk about how...
Or Weekly Wilde, you mean?
Brian... is that what it is?
Yeah.
I should know that.
Thanks for the plug.
I should know that. It all looks the same.
Market manager really knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's really going to give you a raise. He knows what shows you're doing.
Weekly Wilde, Mr. Irrelevant. It's Alex Strofe on our YouTube page, pretty much. And you got Wilde talking like Gutekunst doesn't like to sign.
He's got a type.
He can't stay on the field.
No,
He's got a type.
No, that's true. And nothing wrong with having a type. But when I just look at the type of team the Green Bay Packers were this year, is I understand that from the Vikings loss, we knew that they were not an elite team in the NFC. But I had a little hope that if you get a cornerback like a Jair Alexander back, somebody, when healthy, he has proven he can be a lockdown corner, that can help the pathway to the Super Bowl, because you're talking about an A.J. Brown. He could slow down an A.J. Brown. I know when they played week 1, A.J. Brown had one big catch for that big touchdown. Other than that, he did a pretty good job. You have an Amon-Ra St. Brown. He can slow him down. You also have a Justin Jefferson. We've seen him gritty in front of Justin
He's
Jefferson.
acting as if Jair Alexander is like the biggest.
Jair's really good.
He's really good, but he's
was
not
an all-pro
changing
corner.
the trajectory of the season.
He changes the trajectory of the defense.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But not the season.
But not the season.
Offensive,
no, I'm saying in the playoffs, he gives you more of a chance, because offensively, the Green Bay Packers have been inconsistent.
Let me explain this to
against
Greg.
Really good team.
I had a $60 to win $900 future on the Packers to win the Super Bowl.
Monday.
He bought it for me for $15 on Monday. And when he had confidence they could still do it, but when he found out Jair was out, he was like, "Oh no, they can't win the Super Bowl."
Might as well rip it up.
And that's where I feel like he's missing something here. Like, he's not gonna change the world. He can help change the team
Did
enough.
y'all not see the Cowboys game last year?
The Cowboys.
He had CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, who had a great year last year. Dak got $60 million, and CeeDee, they both basically got paid because they had such a great 2023-2024 season. He had them arguing in the first half because he was
First
locking
quarter.
them up. Thank you. Interception early on. Like, he can change the game like that. He can be that impact player. So not having him against these potential teams, the Lions, the Vikings, and then also the Eagles, it harms the Green Bay Packers' chances. So I was hopeful before he got hurt, or before I knew he was going to be out.
Damn it, Strofe. The first quarter's already ending in the bowl game right now. Alex Strofe made me put a first quarter bet in, and it's going to lose.
What'd you bet?
Notre Dame minus a half point in the first quarter. It was plus 120. I'm sorry, Greg. It was on our dual account.
That's all right.
But
Are we on Notre Dame for the game?
We are. All right. I have to re-legislate something because 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talk and text line, Jill chimed in. I hope he doesn't try the pants on the store prior to purchasing.
Great point.
Oh,
it's a great point.
He does.
Heavens, no. Do people do that?
He does.
Yeah.
With no underwear.
Wait a minute.
And if I don't,
Disgusting.
and if
That
they don't,
actually is wrong.
And if they don't fit, I just give them right.
Oh, no. They need to put straight
That's
underwear in there like
disgusting.
socks.
No,
No, you need to be a better human being.
wrong.
That's worth a misdemeanor.
It is.
At the least.
It is.
No, I'm actually in
100%.
agreement with that.
A misdemeanor?
Like, that's like a serious. It's not just gross. That's like wrong.
It's not a crime to try on clothes.
You know for a fact when you try on a pair of pants and you're like, they don't fit. You're walking out of that dressing room knowing you're doing something a little bit incorrect, a little bit wrong.
I mean, I don't feel great about it.
What?
No,
bro?
you're smiling right now.
No, because Jill,
There's the
when Jill
opportunity for your
texted,
bodily fluids to be
Yes,
on
that's
the
gross.
pants.
Yes. You should be in jail right now.
I can't wait to know when Kyle's going to North. What's your pant size?
It's not yours. Hopefully not.
I also
34
love.
waist.
I also love that Ben has one store he knows of, and it's Nordstrom Rack, and he's just like, I hope I know the next time Kyle goes to Nordstrom Rack, this is where everyone goes to get clothes.
I'm gonna try on
right?
all the pants he likes.
You go
It's
to
gross.
Nordstrom Rack and Target are the two places you get all your clothes.
So, Ben, you mean to tell me you go inside of there, you had your T-shirt on, you take your pants off, had your
all the
T-shirt
way down,
and you got men and people
And I'm
next
just-
to you, and you got
I'm
your
just
stuff just hanging out.
hanging loose.
Oh, my gosh. That's gross. That's disgusting. You need to be arrested. He's right.
Arrest me?
100%. You need to be better.
It is worthy of a legitimate ticket.
Maybe a ticket, not a misdemeanor.
No,
I don't even
throw in a misdemeanor.
I think you just need to be barred from stores.
100%.
Period. Like, you have to be somebody with a zero return policy. Like, you have to buy something, and if it doesn't fit, then you just have to deal with it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Do you wear drawers or no drawers? I wear no drawers. Nah, sorry, you got to keep that.
Whatever you try on is yours.
Can't you just wear underwear to the store if you're going to try things on?
I don't own a single pair of underwear. The only undergarments I own
not? Like, why not own a couple of pairs?
Because I
gave you a pair once, and
they didn't, like, they were too tight. And now
the waistband's too tight on my tummy.
I tried a pair of pants on before the wedding I went to, and I about threw them out because, like, they were so tight, and I was like, my tummy would never survive the night.
I'm stuck on the fact that you literally go to stores and literally just disgusting and put your, as you said, bodily fluids all over stuff and then hand them to somebody and say, here, I don't want them.
Am I the only one that doesn't believe Ben when he says that something being tight around his waist makes him sick?
No,
it
true.
seems like the most 7-year-old thing.
It pushes on my colon and it causes problems.
Like either 7 or 77, right? It's something that a little kid would say because their tummy hurts, or it's something that like your grandfather would say. They'd be like, I can't have anything pushing against my colon. Why don't you like pull your pants up then?
What do you mean? Like right now, I am sitting. I can't. No, this.
Please don't. Please don't.
No, I want to hear it.
Can I show you? It's not bad.
Show.
I just like. I'll stand up. My pants are currently like they're on. You won't see anything, but it's not like because this is too tight. Like it's too tight.
What is
he can't button the button to his
pants because it's too tight.
Are you wearing a belt?
No, never wear a belt.
So wait a minute.
For somebody who played for Bo Ryan, you were the softest individual I've ever encountered.
Charmin.
Lasagna in Milwaukee, burn Nordstrom Rack.
That's correct. I'm hung up now. So you aren't wearing undergarments and your button is just unbuttoned.
Yeah.
We've been down this road. That's an HR violation.
No. That was when my zipper broke.
That's way too much showing.
All right, Greg, thank you for joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Didn't you train him?
He tried.
You should have seen what I got to start with, Kyle.
What you do?
You should have seen what I got
Williams
to start.
Or Craig and said, what in the hell? What is this?
I mean, he showed up just like a limp dog.
Can I ask Greg one final question?
Sure.
What shows are you on?
Are you proud of Ben Brust?
I am proud of Ben Brust.
You are.
Yes.
He's the best man in my wedding. He better be.
I mean, look, the guy is showing that he can take care of another human life. The man that I met 7-8 years ago, there's a 0% chance that would be the case. He still can't button the button on his pants.
That's another story.
And he still can't wear underwear. But we've improved a lot.
We're both by the diaper. I'm like, that might be too tight on her tummy.
Oh no. See, you're going to train your kid to be just like you. And
Just
she's
a diva.
Yeah.
That's me. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
More next.
You think Greg's kids are going to bully your daughter?
Oh, for sure. Greg bullies me.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'm sorry that I don't want to touch Ben's Peter.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to The Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Gabe Neitzel.
Maybe this is recency bias, but taking a look at this year's NFL quarterback draft class, you're seeing a lot of guys that are having success right away. And I think a big reason for that was because they played a lot of football games. They played a lot of football games at the collegiate level, whether we're talking about Bo Nix, whether we're talking about Jaden Daniels, who's obviously had a ton of success this year. Michael Penix has looked good, and I think he was ready for his situation because he played 5 years of college football, 3 in Indiana, and then the 2 that he had in Washington. I think with NIL, you don't have to rush off to get paid. Now, would the payday be bigger in the NFL? Possibly, especially if you want to start your clock sooner to potentially get that big-time deal after your rookie contract. But if you look at the success that the guys are having right now, you're still getting paid in college. You still have development to do. I think more guys may stick around because of NIL, especially at that quarterback position.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play, like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You know how much I love and trust X Golf with my golf game. Whether we're talking about Brookfield or Mequon, the state-of-the-art simulators, the custom golf clubs they can build, the lessons you can get from their PGA pros. Secretly, one of my favorite things is after my round. In fact, most Fridays, you can find me in Brookfield at the bar enjoying a nice cold drink, maybe having some of the food that they have from their incredible menu. This can happen for you too. Go to xgolfbrookfield.com or xgolfmequon.com to book your tee time today.
Winter is here. Don't let your car care take a backseat. Protect your car against rust, salt, and grime this season at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with their state-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and convenient unlimited wash memberships. Try their new best-in-class T2 with graphene wash for the ultimate long-lasting shine and protection. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Yeah, I hear it pretty good. Woo! Get your pants off the ground. Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. Go in your mouth.
I feel like I've done something wrong.
You have.
Good.
You have.
You should feel that way.
For those who missed it, I don't wear underwear. I was celebrating the fact that I bought 4 pairs of pants.
Wait a minute. We never asked the big question. How many pairs of pants did you try on?
7.
Oh.
So there's just 3 pairs of pants.
So there's 3 pairs of pants
in a Nordstrom rack.
In what state? Missouri?
In Missouri.
Ooh, Missouri don't play. They do not play. They do not
Missouri,
play. They'll have your ass in the field doing some stuff.
That are hanging in that store.
That have been touched by my nether regions.
Is that the word we needed to use?
I mean, I thought it was an appropriate word.
All right. I want to put the kibosh on this topic, but there are a couple questions coming through the Cardinals text line that we need to get to.
Hit me.
All right. First off, right on top, just came through. Lasagna in Milwaukee. How many times have you zipped Little Ben? I hate that I want to know, but I need to know.
Never.
0 times.
Never. Always protective of Little Ben. I call him Ben Jr. because I don't like Little Ben.
You refer to your nether regions with
Ben
your
Jr.
own name.
Yeah. I mean, it creates more Bens.
Kyle, do you refer to your area with another name?
I do, but I don't know if it's appropriate for radio.
Well,
King Kyle.
Yeah, I don't. I do have a name I use, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can say it.
I wouldn't say.
He just said it in my ear. I don't know what it means.
I don't know what it is, but I would just say no.
I could probably say it. It's a fun name.
What can I ask the origin?
We've already had to hit the dump button. What's today? I'm not going for twice.
No, it's fine. No, I just say I just call it what it is. Autonomy. I mean, I'm not Ron Jeremy, so I'm autonomy.
I don't even know what you said.
I mean, I'm supposed to say. You just say what it is. Peter, whatever. I don't know. What are you supposed to do?
We'll be back in 2 minutes for the 414 hour at 4. Hopefully.
Got a pretty good ride shaping up. Maybe a little bit of a heavy ride on eastbound 894 heading past 84th Street, where there's a few disabled vehicles here and there, but none of them are in traffic. If you're going to slow down, that's where you're going to be. Otherwise, the rest of the system is actually looking really good right now. I'm really not seeing any other issues that are affecting your ride. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, clearing skies, a low of 17. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, a high of 24. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. Holla, we them boys. Holla, holla, holla. We making noise. Holla.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
The voice of an angel, that's Tory Lowe, joining us here on a Tory Lowe Tuesday on a Thursday. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Norty. Strophy on the ones and twos. And Tory, Happy New Year to you.
Powerful. Hey, look, I appreciate y'all. Look, last year was a powerful year. 2025, we staying alive. Hey.
Okay.
Oh.
Like John Travolta.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Drake.
Isn't it? What's the John Travolta Staying Alive?
Staying Alive.
Yeah.
Do you know the dance?
He was in Grease. Was it Grease? Was he dancing?
I thought that was the Bee Gees. Is it Staying Alive, the Bee Gees?
Yeah,
that is the Bee Gees. Good job.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some disco dance he did.
I just don't know.
But that was the movie, Staying Alive.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm officially lost.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm lost
Here
too.
we go.
But what I do want to know from you, Tory, have you accepted the fact that the Packers won't win a Super Bowl?
I have not.
Tell us why.
And the only reason I say that is because the Packers are one of the most well-rounded teams going into the playoffs. They have what it takes. It's just they're young. And only thing that have to happen is a button have to click.
What button is that?
You know, that machine where they can get that offense working like a machine, the defense and the
Isn't
offense.
that what the last 17 games were for?
Well, what I'm saying is I said that they was going to win 11 games. I said this. So we at 11, and if we beat the Bears, that's a bonus game.
Okay, wait a minute, Tory, but you said 11 games because that's something that we talked about before.
Okay, I said 11 games.
With the 11 wins, are you satisfied with how we got to the 11 wins?
I'm not satisfied because there were some tough teams in there that we didn't win, we didn't beat.
And that's taking some of the excitement away from us.
But we were challenging them. It wasn't like that they were dominating the Packers. So what I'm saying is all they got to do is just get it right. Last year they got it right in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
They had Jair. Jair ain't coming back.
Okay, but what I'm saying is right now, when you look at the experience, like sometimes you got to go
They're the youngest team in the NFL.
Okay, but what I'm saying is sometimes you got to go through wins and losses, good and bad. I remember the year the New York Giants won and they entered into the playoffs.
They
as
had an unbelievable defense.
But they still sucked during the season. Let's not forget that. So, and they sucked worse than the Packers. I mean, I didn't even think that they was even going to. I mean, that was a surprise. But what I'm saying is the Packers have the ingredients to challenge any team that they step in front.
I agree.
Nobody's disagreed with that.
Okay, so I'm thinking that the Packers can win the Super Bowl.
So the problem,
but at what point have they strung together 3 quality wins?
Well, I'm not saying that they were able to beat. Like I said, they lost games to the teams that are at the top of the league. Okay, so what I'm saying is that right there, but the way that, they were not being dominated, you can't say that they got dominated in those games. What they did do was they got information from those games. And sometimes, I played the game, so sometimes when you play it,
times to gather information.
Hold on, what I'm saying.
They've had a lot of time to gather information.
I feel a lot of negative energy.
No, there is.
Okay, hold on. What I'm trying to tell you, I feel it.
2025.
And I like this. Tory Lowe's joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, and there's been a little bit of Kyle's in a negative mindset. Right. He still loves his Packers, but there's a realization right now of where they're at. And, overall, you're just the person right now that is the optimistic person that we're willing to hear from.
Lake Michigan this year.
Me neither.
What if they win the Super Bowl?
Well, we might. We said we already got that one sealed.
Okay.
If the Packers win the Super Bowl, we doing the plunge.
All right.
Okay, I didn't
Kyle,
do the
you going head underwater?
If the Packers win the Super Bowl,
I didn't do the polar bear plunge.
You'll put your head underwater.
TBD, bro. We got to find a cleaner area of the lake. Let's go north, where there's a little less pollution and less, bad things. Let's go to a better area.
I can't promise this, but I will attempt to tackle Kyle Wallace.
No, the hell you not
in the lake.
In the lake.
No, ain't no way.
Oh, Stro, that's a good idea.
I said I will attempt.
Hold on,
I don't know that I will succeed, but I will.
We're going to baptize him.
The only way I'm going back into
Lake
water
Michigan.
in Lake Michigan is that the Packers win the Super Bowl. Because I'll be $20,000 richer.
Oh, that's right. That's why you haven't given up faith, because you have $1,000 on them to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Tory, overall, I'm with you, right? That is the exact reason why going into Monday, I bought Ben's ticket to Pato, where basically I paid $15 for a ticket that can win me $960, because I felt like I had seen enough from the Green Bay Packers offense to show me that they have the ingredients in order to beat these teams. They can score with these teams. It was defensively and stopping the passing attacks of other teams. But I say, hey, listen, we're missing a missing piece, which is Jer Alexander.
Right.
With Jer Alexander not coming back, I don't have the confidence in Carrington Valentine or Keyshawn Nixon that they will be able to slow down some of these elite wide receivers.
So if we're going to stick with this ingredients thing, I feel like the Packers, if you're making a home-cooked meal right now, Jair is like a really important spice. But the meal itself throughout the entire season has still just been very, good. It's been a good meal. You're not blown away by it. It's not going to win any awards.
Let me tell you
It's not going to get you, a 5-star rating on Yelp and Google.
Something I like to use is Lowry seasoning salt, right? Lowry seasoning salt make everything taste just a little bit better. And so when I throw it on there, that's Jair. You throw it on there, you say, oh, now it tastes good.
It might taste a little better, but it still can't take something that's, average to good and make it Super Bowl.
I threw some on some mashed potatoes I made. It was good. I threw some on some eggs. It was good.
Yeah, but that meal itself wasn't like a Super Bowl meal.
But it can complete the meal, and I think Jair could have completed this football team in the sense of it does not make them a favorite, but it makes them more competitive. None of us can deny that.
I think that the injuries to Jair, I think we starting to look like another situation where we may not have him around.
He's not going to be.
Right.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying.
It's upsetting because we
I see that. I see the writing on the wall. But what I'm saying is the next man up mentality is why we're here today. And a lot of people thought that the Packers were in a rebuild, but I said that we were in a reload. I said that Jordan Love is a reload, not a rebuild.
But see,
a lot of people said this. We looking at what happened.
Yeah.
And hindsight is 20/20. But what I'm saying is they have enough pieces. And
who on the pass rush is a piece?
They work together as a unit. I'm just saying it. I don't think that we have.
What unit?
I told you before. We don't have that monster. that we need. I said we're missing that piece.
So we don't have a monster, and we don't have the one quarterback that can be a monster.
They're learning to work together as a unit.
This ain't that Lowry seasoning that you were talking about. This is salt and pepper.
Sometimes, all right. I would say this: when I used to play high school football,
great value. Bro.
All right, hold on, listen. I would play high school football, cool, and I would see a lot of talented teams lose to suburban teams that played well together.
The Packers aren't doing that.
No. But what I'm saying is the Packers have the ingredients to do that.
No, we don't, Tor. We don't. I'm telling you. I love you. I love you.
Here we go.
But you said this.
All right.
You said
I got it. I got no chance.
Wait.
You don't. No chance.
Yo, $1,000 is gone.
Stro.
He knows.
Are you in on this?
Hey, I'm Team Tory all the way.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Give me some help.
Tory, you said next man up.
Don't count the Packers out.
No, I don't want to count them out, but you said next man up. You talking about Jordan Love? Jordan Love's a first-round draft pick.
No.
Our first-round draft pick, next man up, is Eric Stokes. You want Eric Stokes out there?
No. What I'm saying is that we have had time. Jair have had a season where he wasn't always around anyway. So what I'm saying is a lot of people got reps. A lot of people got the experience. Yeah, we want our top corner there. We do. But sometimes I've seen teams.
You are such a sweet man.
Hold on. I've seen teams where somebody got the opportunity and they, some people just need opportunity. And I think that the Packers have the youth and they have the coaching. And sometimes if you don't have that stud, then you do group defense where everybody swarm to the ball, and that works as well.
It ain't working for us consistently. Like
you're trying your best, Tory. I really appreciate the sales pitch, but I ain't buying anything you're selling.
It sounds like that y'all already gave up on the season.
Yes, Jair Alexander
Here we
out.
go. It was 2025. I'm not accepting this juju.
You don't have to accept it.
Juju. I got the
Unfortunately, sometimes the earlier you accept the truth, the better it is for your emotions.
Here we go.
You got to accept the 10-17.
I'm shocked. I am shocked I walked in here today.
Tory did walk in with a lot of good energy, and we just zapped it right out.
Tried to soak the life out of
Tory, here's the thing, buddy. You and me, 2 weeks from, actually 12 days from now, when you join us on the regularly scheduled Tory Lowe Tuesday, following Wild Card Weekend, and the Packers go to Philadelphia and they knock off the Eagles. You and I can just walk in with a bunch of crow and forks, and we're just going to hand it around.
Just hand it out.
Hey, I'm
just
not
hand it out
crow,
to everybody.
But I'll be happy. I'll be happy. We're at the point now where if the Packers win, they surprise everybody. I'm gonna be excited because I'm telling you this right now. I'm gonna go into every single game expecting for my season to be over, unless the Packers somehow get the 6th seed and they don't have to take on the Eagles in the first round. But if that happens,
I'm gonna tell you this. I was in a situation where I was playing football and a lot of my defense got caught with somebody in the room before the game.
Oh wow!
And we had
what?
I was playing football. I was on the football team, and a lot of my players on the defense had somebody in the room, which is against the rules, which means they couldn't play that game.
Okay.
So we had to walk into the game with the backups.
Keep it PC.
And we won. And so it just next man up. I seen it happen.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit
different.
different.
And that was on a low level. These are professional players.
But exactly, it's just, again, I love me some CV. I love Carrington Valentine. I think he's a very talented corner, but he's not a number one. Keyshawn Nixon is not a great outside corner as well. And Eric Stokes, we can't trust him whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that is where my concern is, Tory. I was
you
right there
think
with
that they're going to exploit the weakness? That's
what the greatest teams do in the playoffs.
In the big games this year, we got exploited.
We did get exploited.
But what I'm saying is,
especially when you had 4 losses to the Lions, Vikings, and Eagles, and then into the 5th one, you were looking for the reasons to be excited. You're like, here we go again.
I agree. But what I'm saying is, everybody know that there's regular season and there's playoff football.
Brian Bulaga said the same thing.
There's playoff football, and that is a whole different season. Everything counts in playoffs. So a team could, what you think.
Pass rush counts. No Jair counts.
Here we go. You know what? I ain't going to even argue with
Tory, you know what? I want you to be optimistic and hopeful. And you know what I want? I want 12 days from now, as Stro was talking about, I want you to walk in here like Conor McGregor and strutting and having your chest out.
Like I said when I said last year, the Packers going to win 10 games.
And I want you to say, I told you so. You know what I'm going to do?
One including the playoffs. They won the playoff game. Homer said that I can include the playoff game as a 10 game.
So, yeah, listen. Tory, I hope I'm wrong and I hope you're right. I really do. For my own standpoint.
Man, I'm shocked.
Shocked
Call it how it is.
I thought you turned over a new leaf.
Just call it how it is.
Ben will jump
If
off
we
ship
end up
as quick as he
jumping,
jumped on.
I'm going to get a pass. If we got to jump in Lake Michigan, I get the pass.
What do you mean you get the pass?
If we win the Super Bowl this year, I'm getting the pass. I'm not going in the water.
It's fine. It's not happening.
But I want you to jump in. I want Kyle to jump in.
Wait, now you're telling us all what to do?
Nope.
I'm
just saying that you already signed the. You already verbally made the.
I sold my ticket.
Hey, Tori, you want to buy a ticket for if you give me $20?
Whoa.
You're trying to make a $5 profit?
Shut up. For $20, you can win a ticket. You can win $960 if the Packers win. So instead of winning $20,000, you can win $20,000.
I already got my ticket. I'm not going
for $20.
I'm not going to put that bad juju. I'm not going to put that bad juju.
No. This would be good juju. You're putting more faith in the Packers.
How many times can we resell this ticket?
Anybody want a Packers future? It's for sale.
Well, Stro, you know what? That's why I had my song of the day was this. Go, Pack, go!
Mr. Optimistic.
I didn't even know. Go, Pack, go! That I was going to get jumped today.
Yeah, you did get jumped. You got jumped like Walker Flocka.
But like I said, I came back because I already anticipated. That's why I brought the spirit in from the stadium. Go, Pack, go!
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hey, Russell, this is Brad. Awesome. I had nothing before then. I had nothing before then.
Hey, Russell, this is Brad.
Hey, Russ, what up, Russ?
Awesome. And I'm going to read this word for word.
Yeah,
That's who I am.
all right, let's give him the floor. I'm going to try and fly.
Yeah, don't interrupt, dang it.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we got some delays on southbound 894 from about Beloit Road all the way down and around the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound, where there's a bunch of disabled vehicles. There's one disabled vehicle that's kind of blocking off the 84th Street off-ramp, so that could be part of the problem. Just be extra careful. Actually, it looks like all the delays are starting at Oklahoma Avenue on 894 southbound. We've also got a crash on eastbound Brown Deer Road right at I-43. The right lane is blocked with that, so just be extra careful if you're heading through there. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, clearing skies, a low of 17. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, high of 24. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority with the latest technologies at their state-of-the-art Brookfield office. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. And now, Holtebeck Eye Center is excited to add Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist that is now available to see patients. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol, learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
They have a pulse. According to Alex Stro, the Green Bay Packers are staying alive right now. First thing you think of when you hear this song.
Ain't this your move?
Dwight Schrute.
Oh, yes.
Michael Scott. Stop that noise. That was too good.
Isn't this what your dad used to dance to?
Yes, he was a disco dance teacher part-time back in the day.
Let's see your moves.
I got zero rhythm from my father, unfortunately. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace.
He still dance?
Can he?
Yeah.
He's got spinal back fusion surgery and a cane, but he can still cane dance with the best.
So what's it going to look like at your wedding? Are me and him getting down together?
Johnny B? Of course.
You won't be there. When is my invite coming?
I don't know, Kyle.
Because I'm trying to plan
Are you to the point of sending out invites?
They should be.
We have scheduled photos as part of the save the date thingamajiggy.
So it'll be a while.
No. It will be expedited. It will be within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
When are the pictures?
6 months.
The 11th.
When is your next haircut?
Actually, Friday.
I would delay that.
Well, last time I got a haircut, it was actually much better, as you recall.
All right.
Shut up. Get to your segment.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant. It's time to become relevant. Stroph's time to shine on KBN starts now.
Hey, Stroph, you hungry?
Yeah, I am actually. Glad you asked. So where are we here? We're about 39 hours into the year.
Oh, wow.
Is anybody ready to press the reset button?
No.
I'm not going to lie. These first 2 days have been...
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday was fine. Today's been a struggle.
What?
To be real honest with you. Yeah.
He had a real struggle today.
Struggle?
This is quite the journey for Alex Stroh.
Yeah, so me and my girlfriend meet up for lunch. And we're like, hey, let's do some grilled cheese and tomato soup. But we're in a place where there's multiple restaurants, right? So I go to one, I order tomato soup. She goes to the other to order the grilled cheese. The restaurant, which is primarily a burger place, out of grilled cheese ingredients.
What do you mean? It's butter and cheese.
And bread, yeah.
Yeah, what do you
I go, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I don't even understand.
Give me 2 buns from a burger.
Right, do whatever you got.
Butter them, cheese, put them on the front, put them on the griddle.
These are the 2 ingredients you should, without a doubt, have.
Bread, cheese.
That's all you need. Yeah,
even if you didn't have butter.
Right.
Just give me bread and cheese.
Yeah, I think I got that at the crib.
So we didn't get the grilled cheese. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll eat the tomato soup. It comes with a little piece of bread. I start eating the bread, pull it all the way out of the back. About a dime-sized piece of mold, middle of the bread.
Oh, wow. Take it back. Oh, they owe you. They owe, what's the name? Well,
you didn't take the mold back.
No, I just threw it out.
Oh, no, Stro, come on. You can't start 2025 letting other people beat you like that.
I don't have time for that
They
stuff, man.
robbed you.
They did.
You.
They absolutely did.
You should have got a full-blown meal.
So he had just tomato soup.
I had 2 bites of the tomato soup, and then I threw that out because I had been dipping the moldy bread in it.
Oh, no, Stro, no.
Wait, you had a couple bites and then you noticed the mold?
Yeah, I had 2 bites of bread.
So you ate mold. Look at you.
And then I pulled it all the way out of the bread. I don't think there was any on that side. It was just a little dot. But
I've always wondered if there's a spot of mold on bread. I mean, I never eat it, but does it make the rest of the bread safe?
Yeah, I think the rest of the bread's safe. I I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
Moved
So
around
I
it.
just decided to throw it all out and start over.
No,
so
you
I
didn't know.
I haven't eaten much for lunch.
Stro, you need to go. Did you take a picture?
I did not.
What in the world? What's wrong with you?
Kyle could have got you lunch for the year there.
I would have said the health department, give me something free or I'm calling the health department now.
Hey, the funny thing is he would.
I didn't even think of pulling in Kyle.
You should have.
I should have. He would have.
I am here on behalf of Alex Strofe.
I would say who? Which one? Which one did this to you? I would have pointed. You would have pointed. I would have went right there. I would say, y'all got to fix this. Y'all gave my man some moldy bread. Moldy bread. And not only did you give him moldy bread, he was dipping in his soup, so it ruined his soup. Y'all got to fix this. Y'all got to fix it.
And you know what I just thought of as well? I'm pretty sure that bread comes with butter.
It does.
You could have just asked the place for a slice of cheese, brought it up to our air fryer or toaster oven. You could have had some grilled cheese.
That's way
that's too much work. But how ridiculous is that?
Not your fault. It's you. That's
36 hours.
800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line. List is more. PD Pablo says, Kyle, you know what to do.
Oh, yeah, one call, that's all. Would have called Gruber. Would have sued their ass. 100% they wouldn't have gave me what I want. I would say, y'all don't know who I know. Sue your ass. Y'all don't know who I know. We're going to sue your ass. I'll make one call, that's all. He know me. Shout out to the Gruber.
Man.
So did you get anything else to eat, or are you just
starving? No, I'm just powering through. I'll be all right.
So unfortunate. What a waste of money.
Yeah.
I guess you got it like that.
But you guys, 2025 off to a good start, huh?
Oh, yeah, I love my 2025. Yesterday was so relaxing. It was chill.
You okay? Everything all right? You want to talk about it? Okay. Sounds good. Let's talk about Tyler Kolek. Tyler Kolek, the former Marquette star. What a talk about 36 hours. What a 36 hours for him. He pulls off the rare G League doubleheader last night, playing for the New York Knicks G League team. Scored like over 36
points? Something
in 40 minutes played, and then he got a bucket for the Knicks last night. Late night tip for them,
and 4 assists.
4 assists as well. Yeah, you're totally right.
He stacked on my my fantasy dynasty squad just in case anything happens to Jalen Brunson.
Don't care. So anyway, Marquette alum doing some pretty cool stuff here in 2025. What do you make of Tyler Kolek?
Yeah, he was at the Marquette Providence game too.
The night before?
Yeah. So, no, I was happy to see it. I saw this, actually. I was on social media because I didn't work yesterday. And I was like, oh, Tyler Kolek scored 36 points in a G League game. Now he's in the game against the Knicks. He came up from Westchester. Is that what they play or something like that?
Yeah, Westchester.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is definitely cool. So I like that.
I gave my thoughts on Tyler Kolek, and you didn't like it.
What were your thoughts?
I'm stacking him in my fantasy team just in case Jalen Brunson gets hurt.
Do you not that is your thoughts on you.
Is he
no, that's my thoughts on what his career could be. I'm stacking him. I believe in him.
So why doesn't Wisconsin ever get guys like Tyler Kolek?
I mean, they just had Chucky Hepburn who left.
He's not going to the NBA.
That's true. I mean, Johnny Davis went to the NBA. I mean, the shot got broken.
The Wizards break everybody. Except for Jordan Poole. He said, I'm going to shoot through it.
Looking at Johnny Davis's jump shot, hurts my eyes.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. All right, last thing for you fellas. A big trend as I look at the year in review in 2024 was people checking into hotel rooms and then posting videos about all of the things they check before they feel comfortable in their hotel room. Checking the sink.
This seems like Kyle,
checking the
something
lamp,
you do.
Checking behind picture frames. When you get into a hotel room, do you do anything? Because I do nothing. I put my bag down, I jump in the bed, and I'm home.
I stayed at a hotel on Wednesday or whatever night New Year's Eve was. I was like, I don't care what's in here.
Put the bags down.
I'm here to sleep.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't check for cameras. If they want to see something, they can see it. It is what it is. But the dirtiness and cleanliness of a hotel, they're so disgusting.
So are you lifting up the comforter when you get into the room to make sure the sheets are clean?
The fiance's big on they don't wash the comforter. Don't touch that.
Yeah, so I take the comforter off because they don't really wash that. And then also, you got to check your sheets sometimes because sometimes when you get in there, if you lay in too fast, and then all of a sudden you land down and say, what is that little spot? You're like, was that me? You be checking yourself whether or not you was bleeding or something like that. But like, oh, no, that's blood from somebody else.
Have you had them change your sheets before?
Oh, absolutely. What do you have high?
Okay, now.
And then I don't walk with my bare feet.
I lied. I got one more thing, and it has nothing to do with you, Benny. It's all about Kyle for a
Fine. Mic off.
Hey, you.
Kyle, it's a new year. Number one, do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
No, do not.
Benny, just real quick.
Negative.
Okay. Kyle, we have given you a hard time over the last year and a half of the show. about being a Karen.
Yes.
You feel as if that's going to go up or down in 2025? You're going to do more Karen activity or less Karen activity? Because we have done this segment now for less than 8 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And you have given us now 2 examples of you acting unbelievably Karen-esque.
What? What's Karen-esque? Somebody gives you moldy bread and you tell them, hey, my food that I purchased with my hard-earned money, it has mold on it. Can you please replace it with something that's more fresh? Or, hey, I'm paying all this money for a hotel room. Can you give me sheets that don't have blood stains on them? Is that Karen-ish? Like, what are we talking about here?
Petey Pablo chimes back and he says, go back to the place that you got the moldy bread and wear a neck brace.
I like that, Petey Pablo.
Look what your mold did to me.
Not a half bad idea. Give me like a wrist brace as well.
Okay. It's shameful. What a waste of money.
So, Kyle, Karen
he's not going to change.
2025?
No. The older I get, the more Karen I become.
Oh. Not caring. Karen.
Yeah,
correct.
Karen, yeah. Care less about more things. But no, for real, though, you need to go fix that with your food. Even if you don't have your food, you say, hey, I had to go back to work, so I threw the food out because I couldn't have it sitting. But y'all messed up, and y'all know y'all got moldy bread back there. If you don't believe me, check some more bread. I'll go with you. I will happily go with you.
Bring my representation?
Yeah, I will represent them. No, this ain't right.
We're going to sue your ass.
No, I'm going to tell them this ain't right. They'll fix it for you. I promise you that.
I would love for somebody outside of the most optimistic person in the entire world about the Green Bay Packers, not named Tory Lowe. If somebody not named Tory Lowe can give me a sales pitch as to why this team has the capability to win the Super Bowl, I'd love to hear why. 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line. We got Brian Bulaga at 440, 445. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I love you, KBN Nation. I love you, Kyle. You're my best friend.
I know you need it, so you are my best friend as well.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Delays are still pretty hefty on 894 southbound from about Lincoln all the way down and around the Hale interchange. We had an earlier disabled vehicle that was blocking off the 84th Street off-ramp, so that was what was causing some problems on 894 eastbound. We also had an earlier accident right over I-43 on Brown Deer. That has been cleared, so we're in good shape there. East and westbound 94 just tightening up a little bit right through the stadium interchange. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, clearing skies, low of 17. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy, a high of 24. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold Carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Ready for a game changer? Now's the time to take your shot with Quartz, your local provider-owned and affordable health insurance. You can choose from a range of benefits to best support you and your family. Quartz is a proud partner of Aurora Healthcare, so you get to stay in the network you love. Visit quartzbenefits.com or call Saganiac Planning 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. Quartz branded health plans are offered by Quartz Health Benefit Plans Corporation, Quartz Health Plan Corporation, and Quartz Health Insurance Corporation, which are separate legal entities. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Records. Coaches have always said, you got to make your free throws. They would have loved the 2017-18 Marquette team that, as a team, shot better than 80%. How? Marcus Howard missed 7, made 105. Andrew Rousey missed 19, made 175. Sam Hauser missed 10, made 51. And Matt Held, he missed 4 and made 28. A team better than 80% from the line. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? Or maybe you experienced a new injury that gives you joint pain that is nagging you. Hey, this is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. There is no better time than the start of the year to refresh, renew, and say no to that joint pain. QC Kinetics is your go-to solution to get moving again in 2025. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. They are right here in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. When I I visited the Greenfield location, QC Kinetics exposed me to a whole new world of regenerative medicine. So much in their toolkit to be able to get you your life back. They helped me, and they're going to help you with your own personalized journey to be able to make sure that you are starting 2025 back, active, and living a pain-free life. Call my friends at QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics today at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Calling all green and gold fans. Ditch the stress and ride in style to Green Bay with the Milwaukee Broadhouse. With round-trip rides starting at $85 per person to every home game, you can enjoy all you can drink on the bus. No need to worry about traffic or parking. Milwaukee Broadhouse even has a private restroom on board. Upgrade your experience with an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate package for $30 more. Don't miss out. Secure your seat now at MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com. Let's make every game day legendary.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
If your dogs don't always listen to you and you're asking yourself, why don't they listen to what I say? Look no further than Sit Means Sit, because you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog. Check out the Green Bay Game Night post-game show to find out who the dog of the game is. I love it every time. Contact Sit Means Sit Dog Training today in Milwaukee or Waukesha to schedule that free consultation with Matt and their team, or go to their website, sitmeansit.com, and check out the Milwaukee and Waukesha pages. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Stro was very hungry, who had moldy bread, couldn't get a grilled cheese. Tough day in the start of 2025 for Mr. Stro. I had asked people, could someone tell me why this team actually can win a Super Bowl? The only response I got was Packers 2010. I don't even think that's comparable.
Yeah, a lot of us lost confidence. I'm telling you, on Monday, a lot of people could have made reasons, even though we lost to the Vikings. Our confidence was a little bit lower, but they could have made reasons. We're getting Jer Alexander back, which gives us saying, okay, we got somebody who could slow down these receiving threats. Now that you don't have Jair, you know that the defense is not going to get any better.
Well, the tough part, here's where I'll meet you on that Jair point. I don't think of him as big as you, but he's definitely big, right? Like, you take him to a different level than me. But when you're not getting elite pass rush, you need to be able to hold down the back end even longer.
No, you have to. You have to be able to do that. I agree. But all I'm saying is this, is that an elite cornerback like Jer Alexander has the potential to completely erase an elite wide receiver. And when you do that, that allows for more time. You heard of something called coverage sacks? That allows for more time for guys to get coverage sacks, because when they look for their number one receiving option, whether it's A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or whether or not it is a Justin Jefferson, if Jer Alexander is sticking to that man like glue, and now the quarterback has to look for their second option, that's when they have to move in the pocket. They have to step up, and that's when the pressure collapses on them, where they can have an errant throw, or they're now getting hurried to run out the pocket. Like, that stuff happens when you have elite cornerbacks. The Packers no longer are going to have that option, because we saw what they did against the Vikings, playing a zone defense, trying to focus everybody on Justin Jefferson, just allow for everybody else to pop. And so that's why all my confidence is completely gone, because I just know we do not have the players on our defense to get home on the pass rush without having great coverage. And I know we don't have enough guys that can go man-to-man. Carrington Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon cannot go man-to-man with elite wide receivers.
Well, maybe the Pro Bowler, Rashawn Gary, is going to play like a Pro Bowler.
Maybe Kyle Wallace, his ticket that he got for the Packers going to the Super Bowl, will make it to the Super Bowl. Probably not going to happen.
Zach in Germantown, let's see if you can create some optimism around the Green Bay Packers.
So I will say, after last postseason, I think Matt LaFleur and the coaching staff do a fantastic job of pulling out new looks, new matchups, taking advantage of stuff they saw in the season. I think both games last year that they started out hot, no one expected them to do it. I think they have a running game and a more consistent defense despite the injuries, which they didn't have last season. So I'd say they have a chance. Hope you're feeling happier now, Benny.
Kyle, it's not about me. It's actually about you.
No.
What did that do for you?
No, it did nothing for me.
We appreciate it, Zach.
No, we do. But I'll formulate. Shout out to Germantown. I'll formulate something in my mind. It's going to take me some time because I just found this Jair news out yesterday.
You're saying you're gonna move on from the news, and then you're gonna create after they beat up on the Bears. You're gonna be like, you know what? I like what I saw.
No, I do think there is one thing that I do believe the Green Bay Packers have to do. Bless you.
Holy
my mic was off.
We can hear you.
Oh, my goodness.
That was strong.
You could have been in the Truth Studio. We would have heard that.
Was it that loud?
It was strong, buddy.
I had these headphones on, so I can't really hear.
I'm going to tell you this. There is one thing that I'm coming up in my head. Is when we think about last year, the difference between last year and this year.
All right, here we go. Strofe, play the football music. Kyle Wallace, start creating your narrative how the Packers get on the right track.
Well, there's something that happened last year. The Green Bay Packers went to Pittsburgh. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Start 2025 saying that off, right? And they lost.
He used to call it Pittsburgh.
They lost, but after that game, I believe head coach Matt LaFleur said he needs to let Jordan Love let it rip. And from that very moment on, the Green Bay Packers let Jordan Love let it rip, and we saw him progress. We saw him get better to where he was the best quarterback in the second half of the last 11 games of the NFL season last year, and then he played magnificent during the playoffs as well. This year, what we saw is the ground game take a little bit more of a
emphasis.
Priority. Yeah. And so with that ground game, we haven't had Jordan Love let it rip unless the Green Bay Packers are behind. With us not having Jair, we're going to need to score a lot of points. We have to start fast, as the gentleman from Germantown said. So my theory is this. The Green Bay Packers' only chance to go to the Super Bowl will be on the arm of Jordan Love. It will not be on the legs of Josh Jacobs. The whole Josh Jacobs thing was fantastic. He's great. He needs to be a decoy.
But what makes you feel comfortable about the passing game?
I feel confident in Jordan Love. If Jordan Love is going to throw the ball 30 times in a game.
He just called out his receivers for not getting enough separation.
I feel confident the passing game and Jordan Love in the playoffs, if he's throwing the ball a lot early on, where the throwing game is opening up the running game.
So ditch the all-pro.
Ditch the all-pro, Pro Bowl running back. Ditch him and put it on the arm of Jordan Love, because what we do know is that Jordan Love can throw with the best of them. So
you know what?
That's my theory.
I don't hate it. If you're going to go down, might as well take a shot.
No, take shots. The Green Bay Packers haven't been doing that.
But from a game plan standpoint, if that don't work, it could get ugly.
Need Christian Watson in order for that to happen.
Because my thing is if you're trying to throw a ton, right? The Packers would be best if they feel like they're outmanned on defense to run the ball and shorten the games as much as possible. Long drives, long possessions.
No, the problem is that they're going to have 3 and outs, or they're going to have 6 plays and they're going to be out, and all of a sudden they're going to find themselves in a game where they're going to be behind, and all of a sudden we take the ball to start. Now we find ourselves down 17-3 at halftime because the Green Bay Packers weren't able to generate any offense to get the ground game going. I just think the Packers need to start throwing the football because they're going to have to score 30-plus points in these games to win. Their defense cannot be trusted. We just got to hope that they force multiple turnovers in the game to keep them in the game, but at the end of the day, you got to score 30 points, and it's going to come throwing that football.
All right. I like this question because I feel like someone who is more, I don't want to brag on Kyle here, but more appropriate to ask this question to is someone who's been through a playoff run and a Super Bowl run. Brian Bulaga is going to give us the blueprint that the Packers need to follow.
Whoa.
What?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
The blueprint.
Brian Bulaga.
That was totally on purpose.
Totally on purpose. The blueprint from Blue. Brian Bulaga joins us next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
And I said, it just came out. I said, are y'all going to talk the whole show like this? Good for you. For the next 25 minutes, all they said was they started ribbing me. Oh, you going to clap like that the whole time? You going to laugh like that the whole time?
No.
You going to lean back like that the whole time? Why don't y'all go sit over in them open seats?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Love
Watson, Reed, and now Josh Jacobs? Football season is back, baby. Now's the time to set a game plan for your Green Bay and Wisconsin pigskin parties. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard to find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Wherever you're tailgating, we'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages. We're open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Brad Nortman here. Whether you're an athlete like me or just want to feel your best, Quintessa's new wellness center in Brookfield is your go-to for peak performance. With services like hormone therapy, IV drip therapy, medical weight loss, and anti-aging, Quintessa has everything to keep your body running at its best. It's not just about game day, it's about every day. Check out myquintessa.com/wellness and see how Quintessa can help you stay at the top of your game. Your body deserves it.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in the
800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talk and Text line. Ben in the 715 chimes in. Couple of pop culture reasons why the Packers can make a run to the Super Bowl. The Little Giants, Angels in the outfield, Rookie of the Year, Miracle, and somehow Ben convincing his fiance to marry him.
Yeah.
Some of the biggest upsets of all time.
Some say that.
You want to know what's really crazy? The internet is crazy. You know I was on my phone during break.
Brian Bulaga joins us now. Brian, welcome in before Kyle says something stupid.
Guys, how we doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well. Happy to have you. Happy New Year. And it's not that everyone's not going to find reasons to why they can do it, but the evidence thus far through 17 games has a little bit more pessimism for the run the Packers can make. If you were to create a blueprint of this team in the playoffs, Kyle thinks that they should just kind of go for it and open up Jordan Love and just sling it. Or do you believe it's better to continue to lean on Josh Jacobs, try and shorten these games and be efficient?
Well, I mean, it's a fair point to lean on Jacobs because that's kind of the formula. But if we've looked at how those games have gone against the good teams leaning on Jacobs, we're falling short a little bit late on in the games, right? Like that's kind of been the moral of the story as we gotten into these big games. So like, to me, as much as I mean, I'm an old lineman, so I love the ground and pound, and I think that's where we should always go. I think you got to be a little more aggressive early on in the game, maybe, and get points, right? Like, and try to go for touchdowns early on in the game through the air, right? And if there's field goals, you take them. I get it, but when you're going against these teams like the Eagles, and that's probably who we're going to see, or the Lions or the Vikings, like, you're going to have to match points with points, and that's probably going to be putting the ball through the air. And if that means Jordan Love's going to have to do it a little bit more, and that's normally what happens in the playoffs, right? Quarterbacks take over. I mean, yeah, you got to be able to run the football, but this is a quarterback-driven league still. It will always be, and this is when the quarterbacks shine.
I agree with you. You just said it from a player experience that you understand.
Of course you agree with him because you kind of said it.
But he knows.
He took it to a smarter place.
He had a great quarterback like himself. But we've been talking a lot about Jer Alexander. That one really stung because, Brian, I was confident the Green Bay Packers actually had a legitimate shot to make a playoff run with Jer Alexander coming back. Now with Jer Alexander being out, do you think Jair's played his last game as a Packer?
Yeah, it's a great question. And before I even answer that, like I read some stat today with him about like the passer rating with him on the field and with him not on the field. Like I think with him on the field, the passer rating's like at 77%, and without him, it's like 95%. Like it's crazy. It's like crazy, right? And people goes, well, how good actually is he? Like, well, there's like numbers to back that up, right? Like there's actual evidence, and people can say what they want about him, but like, there's a reason. There's a reason for like why he's paid what he is, and why he's able to match up so well with these big time players. But on to that question, like I'm not sure what the financial situation of the Green Bay Packers is going into next season. I don't know what their cap looks like or what his number looks like. I don't know what the dead cap number is if they release him or keep him, or I don't know what anything of that is, but. And I don't know what the knee injury or what the cleanup is or what actually is going on in there. But knowing how Goody has kind of dealt with veteran players that have had issues, it's hard to see him holding on to him. But it's hard to find really, really good corners. And it's just like it's hard to find really, really good left tackles like David Bakhtiari. So like, it's just one of those positions that it's hard to move on from and hard to replace. Like, sure, you can bring someone in that's okay, but how long can you get away with okay? And when you're trying to make Super Bowl runs, and that's kind of where you're at with that. So, like, I hope he's back because I think he's really good, and the numbers prove it. But it's just how long can you continue to play that, play that game with like paying him X amount and only having him for X amount of time. And I understand it because I unfortunately for me in my career, like I've had seasons like that, and fortunately they put up with me for 10 years doing that. So like I was lucky enough to get that many years in Green Bay, kind of going through that situation from time to time.
And see, what you just said, I think is key, is that the Green Bay Packers, if they want to move on from Jair, next year may not be the year. You may want to risk, him being injured and missing 7 to 10 games again, but just draft his replacement. The Green Bay Packers drafted a replacement at quarterback, and I mean, it's different. I think when they drafted you were going to be the heir apparent.
Real quick, Strophy, I think they saved some money by cutting him. If I'm like $6 million or something.
Yeah, so I think it's $6 million. He's owed 19 or 25 million, but I don't know. It's 19 and 25, $6 million. Jason Wilde explained
about
it.
$6 million when he can potentially help you get to a Super Bowl. And if you draft a young quarterback,
he's been on the field like 30 of the last 68 games.
34 of the last 68, exactly 50%.
The risk versus the reward. If you draft a guy in the first round and he turns out to hit, and you still have Jair on the roster, you're going to move on from Jair after the 2025 football season. It gives you
or you could spend some of that money on someone who is available.
Maybe if they did that, then great.
Okay, so I'll just say this, right? Like, and we've seen this from what you paid for McKinney and what you paid for Josh Jacobs in the market. If you're going to go get a corner, you're paying him way more than what you're paying for Jair in the following season, right? Like, and we've kind of seen what could happen in free agency, like at the corner position, right? Like the Chargers did it the one year with the guy from The Patriots, they paid him like $85 million, and it didn't really work out. There's certain things that always has to get weighed out and balanced. And I'm not saying that always happens, but like there's certain things that you just kind of have to weigh out. And seeing as $6 million, I get it's a ton of money. Like it is a lot of money, but within the cap structure and how those things work, like that's why Goody and Russ Ball, they're really good at what they do and how they figure things out and where everything falls within the cap. There's obviously going to be more deals that within the team that they want to renew guys and get things done. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done to figure out if they're keeping him or not. All I know is that if you have a guy like that, and kind of, what you were saying is if you keep him, draft a guy, let him develop and kind of learn. And if you can get Jair for 13, 14 games and then a playoff, like that's huge. But again, I don't envy being a GM. Like that's a tough job, and getting rid of good players and all that, like that's a hard gig. And it's a lot easier to sit here and judge and look at it from hindsight than it is doing it. So, but yeah, it's a hard one to call.
As Brian Bulaga joins us here on Kyle Brust Nortman before the Homer Hour, Brian, obviously it's a different year, but in comparison from last year to this year, where do you think they've made the biggest jump, and where do you think they took the biggest step back?
Well, I think the biggest jump is, at least I look at them, I think they're a more complete team. I think from, if you look at them from, offensively, defensively, special teams, I feel a lot more comfortable with the team from all three phases. I think last year sometimes you didn't know what you would get, right? They were kind of like the comeback kids last year, and you didn't know what you would get from game to game. I feel that this year I have a really good idea what we're going to see from game to game. It's just, against these really good teams, like how are they going to finish at the end? And then that's kind of what we've all been talking about. And I think the biggest step back, I think they've been better than last year. So it's hard to say that they've taken a step back because I think they've won more games. I think they've played better. I think they've played a harder schedule than last year. I think the teams in their division are better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Lions got better, the Vikings got better, the Eagles got better. The NFC's just gotten better overall. And I think they've gotten better if you look at their records. So I don't know if they've taken a step back anywhere. Right? I think they've gotten better in a lot of positions. It's just, I think we could talk about that if they get eliminated from the playoffs in round one, right? Then we can look at that and say, that's where the step back happened. They made it to round two last year, and they exited round one this year. And that could be where you say they took a step back.
Brian, we talked a lot of Packers football, but you know what just ended? The holiday season. When do you take down your Christmas decorations? Because I just moved to an area, and I'm trying to figure out what we doing to,
Kyle, before he answers this question, I feel like context is important here with Brian. So we discovered a couple weeks ago on the Green Bay Game Day pregame show, Brian Bulaga does not have 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 Christmas trees up in his house right now.
Is that your choice or the love of your life?
The love of my life.
Yeah,
but,
I tell you, that's what our lives are, just doing what they want.
But I will say this. They're down. Everything's done.
What?
It's gone. Everything is down. She takes it down at the 28th. It was gone.
Wow. Wait, she didn't even take it into the new year?
Nope.
Wow. Is that just a Bulaga household thing, or is that
she's done and done? Hey man, when it's a few days past done and dusted, we are moving on, right? The Christmas lights stay on the house until January 1. Now those are done and dusted too. So
I guess
it's
Brian doesn't have to worry about the 40-degree wind chill that's coming in here.
A little bit warmer in Florida.
A little bit warmer, but yeah, we put all the Christmas decorations away, tore down all the trees. Everything is put away. Back to normal.
You know what, Brian? I think I'm understanding why I didn't make it to the NFL. It's not because I wasn't talented enough or I didn't have the great gene pool. I just didn't have
those are a big part of it.
I didn't have the discipline to be able to do it. Because you know who probably took all the stuff down already? Brad Nortman. Brad probably took everything down already. They are disciplined, structured individuals. I'm not that. That's why I didn't make it to the league.
So this was the realization. Christmas decorations is the realization, not the 3 ACL tears you've had. And the lack of speed and talent.
It's the realization that I don't have enough discipline to say, nope, We're doing it this way. We're doing it now.
Yeah, but I don't even know if Brian had a say. It sounded like he said his love of his life took everything down on the 28th.
I mean, she says it's time, I just know it's time, and it's time to buy in. You got to buy in.
Yeah, I'm bought in.
Sounds like a good coach.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the love of my life. When should I take?